Everybody, Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 66, a live one for you. We haven't done these in a long time. I'm actually super excited about it. Feels good to be fucking right here right now with everybody else. So fuck yeah. Resident homies with me as always, Joel, Joseph, and Casey. What up, y'all? And all right, let's start the plug section here. First of all, obviously, we're gonna hit up Battle Forged Coffee. You guys, if you haven't gone out and got some, try it out. They got all the shit at battleforgecoffee.com. You bet beans, grind, 5-pound bags, 12-ounce bags, swag, all that shit. Hit it up, battleforgecoffee.com. The homies in Deeds of Flesh fucking killing it right now. What else do we got, guys? Thank you to everybody who is here with us, and also thank you to some Twitch guys. If you're on here right now, maybe we'll get some more later. But yeah, dude, first Twitch stream. That's fucking awesome. Like multi-platform thing. Cali Death Podcast, trying to do it more pro and shit. What up? But yeah, Joseph, you got a show going, right?
Yeah. What's going on, guys? So, Joel, check your email.
Yeah. Oh shit.
This is what happens with the live shit, guys.
I know.
So my band Dreamer with Chris Beatty and Ricky Alvarado Cabrera as our new bass player. We're opening for Obscura, Veil of Nath, Interloper this Saturday, February 5th at 1720 in LA. And we're selling tickets, $20. Hit us up. And yeah, it's our first show ever. We're super psyched. We got the fucking call for it like less than 2 weeks ago, and we just got our asses ready for it. And
hell yeah, dude.
So I'm really excited to be jamming it.
Totally. And if you guys like that intro, that's the guitar player he mentioned, Chris Beatty. He's him and Joseph. That's them on the intro song. So you know it's gonna be sick when you see that dude shredding with Joseph on drums and shit. Get out there.
The homie Gabe Sieber will be playing drums for Veil of Nath, and it seems like he's also drumming for Obscura, like unannounced.
Oh, whoa!
He's like the headlining drummer. So
what up, dude?
Shout out to Gabe.
Gabe drums for everybody.
What up, Jedi Grind, aka Murray Fitzpatrick? What's going down, brother? Hell yeah! No, this is fucking cool,
we got
dude.
That,
like
the Mersey.
We're all fucking First Twitch streamer, like we coming hard with the fucking Merseys, dude.
I wore my Mersey I went to the football games last week at David's place, and I wore my Mersey like over. I was like, yeah.
Like I'm not rooting for any of these teams. Only Team Murray, man.
Cheers, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. So what? Do we have anything else before we get into our guests?
Not really. Let's get into it.
So
let's get into it.
No mercy with this motherfucking podcast. Anti-mercy. It is Jeremy Turner and Justin Payne from the brutal fucking situation. Unmerciful. That was fucking. I fucked that up.
You guys are brutal.
I was like thinking of. I mean, dude, Unmerciful is a band that like their name fits their sound so perfect. Like the first album, Unmercifully Beaten. That's exactly how you're left when you finish that album. You're just unmercifully beaten, dude. It just is a pummeling fucking force, dude. So what up, guys? We love your shit. We've loved it for a long time, dude. We've been label mates, you know. So it's
old
like
school homies.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Good to be on.
Fuck yeah. So, you guys got anything you want to plug? You guys got? I mean, we got flyers ready. You guys got some shit coming up too, right? In a few months.
Yeah, we have a tour with Pyrexia starting in May. Pyrexia, that stabbing from Texas.
Hell yeah.
That new brutal ass shit that's coming out of Texas.
Fuck yeah, it is.
So
sick ass band.
Oh yeah.
And then of course Pyrexia had been around forever, Sermon of Mockery from then on.
Yep.
Sick, dude.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'll start early to mid-May and probably go through early June.
Nice. What about merch? You guys got a Bandcamp or a website you guys are slanging shit at?
Yeah, unmercifulmusic.com. You can go on there. We have whole store set up there. Clint put that stuff together, and it actually goes through the business that Clint owns that I actually work for, Reliant Apparel. But we have everything up there. We got all kinds of, just typical shirts all the way to long sleeves, hoodies, shot glasses, pint glasses, beer koozies, and there's all kinds of. There's the men and women clothing on there. There's all kinds of stuff. Anything you want, flags, yada yada.
Nice, dude.
So yeah, we have no shortage of merch, that's for sure. Well, we make that stuff ourselves, so it's right here in house, made by us.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's
Make sure you got something for everybody, dude.
Might have some orders for you guys.
Absolutely, send them our way, man. We'll ship them out, and usually Clint will pull them, give them to me. I'll package them up, walk them right over to the post office myself, so they come straight from us.
Fuck yeah.
So
Awesome.
I always think that's cool when the bands do that themselves,
Yeah,
Totally,
definitely.
dude. No, and you know that you're fully supporting the band when you buy merch from them. The DIY
of course.
project makes sure that more money gets in the band's pocket. It's more work, obviously, but in the long run, it's like if you guys are down, fucking, that's definitely a way to make more money.
And of course, it's what Clint and I do anyway. So we just set up those jobs and set up some other ones, right? And then the other guys come and help and box it all up ourselves. But yeah, all in house, man.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, guys. Well, let's get right to it. How we usually do this is since we got two of you, and it's an unmerciful episode. Jeremy's been there for the beginning, so we're going to start with Jeremy. But Jeremy, the main question we always start off with is take us as far back to when music became something that you started paying attention to, whether it be listening or wanting to play an instrument. Just try and go back to that furthest spot where like something clicked with you and music became an interest, or art, whatever got you to music.
I remember listening back when I was a kid to like Fleetwood Mac, AC/DC, shit like that. Kiss Alive 2. I mean, I'm old enough to where Kiss Alive 2 was on 8-track. So
Shit.
yeah, I've got all you guys beat for age. An old fuck.
That's all good. That we want to know what it's like from like the older generations, but it's pretty much like the same thing with everybody. It's like there's that one moment where, as early as you can think of, where it's just like, oh, dude, that groove that I'm hearing is making my body want to do something involuntary right now, and I don't know why. So it's like whatever your parents were listening to.
Yeah, like I said, as a kid, I listened to like Fleetwood Mac, AC/DC, all kinds of different bands.
That's what your parents were playing in the house?
Oh, yeah. I heard that Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads tribute album, and that I was like, fuck, I'm playing guitar. That's what I want to do. I was 13. I heard Metallica at that point, but yeah, something about his playing on that album, I was like, that's it. So my first guitar was Vantage V and a little fucking crate 10-watt.
How old were you when you got that?
13.
Okay.
Took lessons for about a year and pretty much got impatient with that, so I just taught myself the rest. Popped albums in and learned by ear.
Mm-hmm. So can you remember like the first song where you got all the way through it and then you're just like, oh fuck yeah, dude, I could play this shit?
Probably For Whom the Bell Tolls, actually.
Nice.
Between that and Crazy Train, but I think For Whom the Bell Tolls was actually the first one.
Sick, dude.
Back then that was like the heaviest shit, especially that jun dun 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 when it yeah.
Sick,
I was like, that was all about it.
So then you're going into high school at that time too. So how long until you're playing through high school, and then did you start doing stuff after? Or were there any high school bands that you were jamming with before you got out?
No, actually, buddies of mine were in bands, and I went and saw bands, local bands, like house parties with Psychosis, Blizzard. But no, I pretty much jammed by myself pretty much until Paul Ryan and I started jamming together. I jammed with another guy, Steve Bradley, for a few months before that, but didn't really go anywhere. It was just the two of us, and then Paul and I talked and started jamming together.
Shout out Paul Ryan. So what were you guys going to high school together, or did you guys hook up after?
No, I went to Topeka West, and we had our own music scene, whatever, guys that we partied with. I'd seen Paul a few times here and there. Like he showed up to a party that I was at right when the first Deicide album came out and fucking went in and popped it in. And the first song I heard was Dead by Dawn. So I knew who he was, but we weren't really friends in high school. That was after high school.
Okay.
Speaking of Paul, did he just moved back to Kansas, right?
No, he did not move back. He's still in San
Oh.
Fran. He's in Kansas City. Actually, he's
Okay.
staying with me, but he's in Kansas City recording the new album.
Oh, gotcha.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you start jamming with Paul. What? Any different names or styles that you guys were playing before it became Origin?
No.
No.
Pretty much.
Damn.
Pretty much the first fucking song that we started playing was Lethal Manipulation.
Wow.
Jesus. Just 0 to 60.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So like, I just want to get like what in your head during that time, like what propelled you into that, since that was the first thing off the bat with Origin. Like,
Well, I mean, that was the first thing, but like I said, I started later than everybody else. Like Paul had been in different bands with different drummers, Jamie Serrano, Andrew Bray, different concoctions. He was even in a band with George Fluke before Origin. And I was around all that, but I just never got in a band with people. Like I said, I was playing along with albums and stuff. Like I remember I learned Clandestine just by ear all the way through.
mhm.
Huge fan of Left Hand Path, but the riffs in Clandestine fucking grabbed me more. And so I learned those riffs, Deicide, Suffocation, all that shit. I just try to play by ear. So I don't know. By the time Paul and I started jamming together, I was already kind of there.
So did he already have some material written? You had to learn it, or did you guys develop it together?
He had that song, and I think he might have had Manimal Instincts. But then, I mean, we started jamming, and we tried jamming with another drummer who wanted to be heavy and fast and bit off more than he could chew. He didn't really last long.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I mean, the idea of heavy and fast before you are exposed to Origin, your idea changes once you know what Origin is, because fast is fast, but Origin is fast. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy was more like into Slayer and stuff like that. That was his idea of heavy, so he wasn't in the same group that we were. So
he didn't last long.
He didn't know what he was getting into. So yeah, he worked on it for a while, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm not into it."
So how long until you guys find Longstreth? Was Longstreth finally the guy you guys like, oh yeah, this is him, or was there somebody else that was?
Well, actually, with the Origin demo, it was me on guitar, Paul on guitar, George Fluke, who Paul had been in a band with before. Phenomenal drummer.
That
Local
demo's
legend
sick.
around Topeka. I know when Death Human came out, he locked himself in his garage for like a month and learned the album.
Damn.
And incorporated that into his style. And he was a complete monster on drums. Like
Yeah, he's incredible. He really is.
Paul and I would go to practice just trying to get him to do some shit that he couldn't do. We're like, let's have him do this on top of this. And then we'd tell him what we wanted him to do, and he'd come back and he'd play some shit even more crazy than what we said. And we're like, oh my God. This guy's crazy.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
So we got him on the demo, and then like he wouldn't really stay around. We didn't have practice with him for months, and it got to where it was a problem with us moving forward. So yeah, we ended up meeting John at a show in Topeka. He had a copy of Exterminate with him, so we got to hear that. So we kind of jammed with him one time, and then we didn't really talk to him for months. And then I got a call from him, and we started jamming again and started working on everything.
Nice.
So
So you're talking about John Longstreth, right? Just to be clear.
John Longstreth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And exterminates that Angel Corpse album he did with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
Sick. And okay, so now you guys, the three of you are together. When does Mike?
Well, actually, with the demo, it was Paul Ryan and I, and then Clint Amplehands was actually on bass for that demo,
Okay.
and then George and Mark Manning was on vocals.
Oh, okay. So 5-piece. What the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, it was a 5-piece, and then Clint. At the time, we didn't really feel like that worked out.
Turn the radio on.
So we started working with John, and then John knew a bass player named Doug Williams. And so that was kind of a package deal. So we started working with them, and that was the lineup for the first album. The first album on Relapse, anyway.
Yeah. So, and how long did it take for that to come out from that point?
Well, let's see. That actually happened kind of fast. The demo. So we played our first show on May 23rd, 1998, and we opened up for Suffocation on their Despise the Sun tour.
Wow.
And they had Kevin Talley drumming for them.
Oh yeah, sick.
And that was like the first night that we'd heard about Dying Fetus. So, but that was May 23rd. We recorded the demo in June of 98. Kind of shopped it around, trying to sold it. I went to Milwaukee Metal Fest in 99 with John, handed it to the guys in Relapse, and we got a phone call like a couple weeks later. And worked it out, got signed, and then the first album came out in July of 2000.
Nice. So I know that I don't want to make, because we're only on the first album of Origin. We don't need to necessarily make this like an Origin episode, because it's obviously an Unmerciful episode. So we could kind of just like fast forward through that a little bit before. So after which Origin album did you guys start deciding you wanted to do Unmerciful?
Well, like
Triple
I said,
I?
we didn't feel like Clint worked out with Origin, and so Clint was no longer in Origin, which he wasn't really happy about. So he started jamming on his own. What was it, Justin? 2000, 2001, I think Justin and James were working together and throwing around sick, dark riffs and shit. And James was starting to drum. And actually, the first band that they were named was Anal Maggot.
Adorable.
That was
2001, I think, was the actual conception year of it, even though it took a minute to get rolling, you know?
Yeah.
And
That rules.
Well, that name just brings such a visual, dude. As soon as you hear those two words put together, dude.
Yeah.
So, okay. Because I had gotten an Unmerciful demo super early. So when did that album the demo get recorded? Was it like a 4-track demo that you guys did?
you talking about the Weed Out the Week thing?
No, or one that we got before Unmercifully Beaten.
Yeah, it was before the very first album. It was basically the first introduction to the band, and it was at an Origin show at the Pound that I got it from. I don't know if I got it from one of the guys in Unmerciful or if James handed it to me. I can't remember.
Is that the split, Jay?
No, that was the actual 4-song demo. It looks like it's a comic book logo on the fucking front of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
White. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Clint and James had started that, and we recorded that, but they were also in Origin. So you probably got it from James or Clint.
Yeah, because I do
that
remember
was also the lineup for Echoes of Decimation.
Okay. So and James was in the band. Echoes wasn't out yet, but it was I guess obviously Unmerciful was being worked on before that as well. And I just remember being blown away by it, dude. Like, fuck, dude. This is the Origin side project. God damn, dude. Just Kansas is ripping, dude. So okay, is that the one you shopped to the labels and shit too, or was that just passed around for whatever?
I I kind of shopped it around, but I sent it to Eric Lindmark, and that was pretty much it. He was like totally down with it. So
yeah, it was really really something to be excited about when I heard it for sure, and I was very happy when it came out. And knowing that you guys got signed a unique leader and shit, I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. These guys are in the family, fucking, and they're fucking representing like another slab of fucking sick unique leader band, you know? It's just like, fuck yeah, dude. So Unmercifully Beaten comes out. And so what was the response to that in the beginning?
Response seemed to be pretty good. I mean, as far as I could tell, I don't know. Didn't really hear too many bad things about it. I didn't really pay attention to the online shit anyway. Cause
I don't either. I try not to.
Probably wasn't much online. It wasn't like what it is now.
Yeah, it would have been
first
like
Origin album came out and stuff like that, and we saw how people talk shit. I was like, I don't really want to do that because you just piss yourself off.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Once you put your art out into the world, it's just like I'm free of it from it. It's fucking out there, and it's just like however it gets, people respond to it. That's how it is, dude. You can't do anything about it after that, and you're not going to please everybody. That's impossible, dude.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, I mean, we put that out.
But wait, real quick. Let me just go on that too, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, dude, there's so many things that I don't like, but I've never gone online to say fuck this band or that album sucks. You know, it's just like I've never. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't like that band. I'm gonna move on to something that I do like.
I think usually what spawns that for most people is usually people that are, if they are bummed that it's getting a lot of traction, something like all quickly, and then they're like, fuck this, like why is this getting all the attention?
Well,
I'm gonna go ahead and just
you know what that is.
Yeah,
dude, that's them having like a, they're being told that they're wrong, and it not necessarily being told, but like those seeing that happen, they're saying, oh, my opinion is not the right opinion according to what I'm seeing. I'm pissed off now.
And also it's coming from a genre of like, people that are kind of like, fuck the norm. I'm going to do something that's not super popular kind of thing. So when something like blows up kind of quick, like in the Whitechapel episode, I was just honest about Ben when I saw like how fast Whitechapel went from like 0 to like, it's for them right before Suffocation. I'm just like, what the fuck? I was like, immediately like the metalhead in me was like, what the fuck? Like, fuck this band. I got like really like mad about it in the beginning until I became friends with them. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine now.
Yeah, it's that alone, like I don't even have an example, but it is kind of weird whenever you're like, man, this band's been around for like 2 years and they're headlining over fucking, somebody who's been around for fucking 25 years. It looks weird up front. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It does.
In comedy, it's the same way too. Like if you're a comedian, and you shoot up the ranks super quick. Everybody looks at you like, "Fuck this."
But it's like not the band's fault. Like if they're just like, "Sorry, like we like you guys, and like we like all your music. We're just like headlining over you. Sorry." Like,
yeah.
Well, and the thing about it is, when it comes to a band, their popularity is not their doing. You know what I mean? It's like if people love it, they just do. They're just making what they make. Making their art. They don't
in a good way, but not in a bad way.
A death metal DeLorean that takes them to the future to get the death metal almanac.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna go in the future and steal all this famous band shit and then come back and do it 30 years earlier.
Yeah. Nah, man. When you're in like the real world of music, like which I would call like the touring world, like that's as real as it gets. Like. You learn to have an open mind and I mean, you might have your own opinions and stuff, but it's like, you're playing with these people, you're professionals with them, like you're friends with them, it's like, it's just not like, I don't know, that whole like super intense opinion thing comes from like somebody locked in their room, like on the computer,
It's
jealousy,
not like on the road, bro,
Dude, it really, really does, man. And even if you're just like, you ever heard this band, you're like, man, I don't know anything about this band. And then when you first meet those guys, and then you even it's cool when you get to meet people and actually get to know their music on the road, because you get to know them at the same time, and you're like, damn, these guys are fantastic,
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you have your like preconceived thing on them, and then you're just like, you actually hang out with them and you're like, oh fuck, I'm an asshole. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to. It's cool to tour with bands that you're not really that familiar with, because then you get to know their music and them all at the same time.
Yeah, and there's also bands
really
that
cool.
have like they might have like a reputation of something, you know, like where someone told you that this guy's an asshole or something, you know, and you're like go into it with that, and then all of a sudden you hang out with them, you're like, you're wrong. That's not what.
Yeah,
but it was
like man, this dude's cool as shit. It's even better when you're familiar with people, and then you get to hang with those people like we did with Decrepit with you guys. That tour is still one of the funnest tours, man. You know, it's like
definitely get into that.
Well,
definitely.
Okay, yeah, I want to get into that. Well, let's go ahead and I don't want to mess up the timeline here. So
yeah, you guys go ahead, do your thing with Jay.
That will happen. 2008, whenever we get there.
Well, before we get ahead, sorry, just Jeremy, which albums did you record with Origin as a guitarist?
The self-titled one, Triple I, and Antithesis.
So those are my three favorite Origin records.
Oh, those are gnarly. Yeah.
I mean, actually, Echoes is fucking up there too.
They're all so good, dude.
Echoes is fucking sick too. Little known fact, I do have some backing vocals on that album as well.
Nice.
Because Antithesis was after Echoes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
but you did backups on Echoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clint called me up and was like, "Come on down to the studio," and just wanted me to throw some shit on there because he was Clint helped record that album.
Oh, cool. Rad.
Well, can I ask just about like, the Triple I, just like what's like, can you talk for just like a minute or so, just like what it was like writing that material and putting it on tape, and just that's just such a classic album. I know people are like rediscovering it, every day. A bunch of new metalheads are getting into it, so it'd be cool to just hear a little bit more about that one, especially.
Yeah, I mean, after we wrote the first album, recorded it, we got the tour. So all that material, we got to play faster, and we kept trying to go faster. And I mean, you can tell the huge jump in speed and intensity from the first album to the second album.
Mm-hmm.
And that came from us touring and pushing ourselves. And the addition of James Lee helped with that as well. James is a monster fucking vocalist.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, we were just trying to come up with the craziest shit we could as fast as we could play it. And sometimes faster than we could probably play it right, or being a little sloppy.
Yeah.
But we definitely pushed the envelope with how fast we could play and how intense it was. So
no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, Portal was kind of like a breakout hit in a way, maybe.
Yeah.
I think there was a music video and everything. Did that get any airplay anywhere, like MTV or anything?
No, not on that album. The first time we got any MTV on Head Against the Ball was Finite off Antithesis.
Okay, I remember that was out when I was just getting into you guys. That was a little later, but yeah. Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, man. Just one more time, just fucking Informis, Infinitas, Inhumanitas.
Yeah,
sick.
And I wanted to say, that was the album, in the early. It was I mean, what did it come out in 2002? Yeah. So that was before, a lot of the stuff that were in, Decrepit Stuff, Time Begins came out with 2003 and stuff. So I remember in 2002, around that year, it was okay, the gnarliest fucking bands or the fastest was Hate Eternal, Nile, and Origin. That was the whole, and that album just to us was game changer. That fucking album, even to this day, it brings me back to that. It was just, dude, yeah, that shit was so dope when it dropped.
You guys just reminded me of something, dude. So I had a girlfriend at the time, and she used to love to have sex with that album, dude. But so check this out. No, for real, she did.
That's awesome.
It was it's she's with the death metal bad boy. That was gonna be our soundtrack, and it was always that album. And so finally, I'm like, let's go see them at the Pound. And I forget who you guys were playing with, and I didn't warn her that you guys were coming up on stage. I just wanted to see if she would react on her own and do 3 songs into the set. She didn't really respond to anything. And I was like, you know who this is? And she was like, no. And I'm like, you hear it all the time because we fuck like rabbits.
Like long,
I was
long
like,
stress
so at
face?
that point, I was like, you know what, dude, she's totally just trying to just like, be in, just like, oh yeah, I'm a death metal chick, but she really isn't a death metal chick. She doesn't fucking know Origin, dude.
What a poser!
Even if I
What a
fucking play it for her,
She was
what a
she was trying to be in while you were in. Anyway,
Yeah. That's what that album is, just such a dead giveaway too. From the moment Larvae of the Lie starts, I mean, I can tell when the flies come on. It's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, dude. All right, so
exactly.
laid out on Twitch for all y'all motherfuckers right there.
Yeah.
No real personal shit right there.
So fuck yeah. So
Well, I don't even know
timeline
where
wise,
we're at. Yeah, I don't even
I
know
know,
where
I
we're
know.
at on the timeline now.
so you guys
Joseph,
like
Well, actually, that was
back.
the last tour that I did with them was for that album. And actually, the last tour that I did was with Nile and Hate Eternal. And then they threw Arch Enemy in there too for, I don't know, I guess some different shit for that tour.
That definitely is a
fill some seats.
Yeah, one of these bands are not like the other, but
I would call that the palate cleanser. Arch Enemy is definitely the palate cleanser of that.
right.
Hey, going to see Arch Enemy is what they had Hate Eternal open for them on another tour. That was my first time seeing a brutal death metal band, so they got me into it for sure.
Right. I mean, it
They're
was
definitely
us and then Hate Eternal, and then they put an Arch Enemy in there, and then so there was a little bit of a break before Nile stepped on stage. So
all that speed and just shoving Arch Enemy right there in the third spot. I mean, they can get fast too, but I'm just saying, like, listen to all those bands that we just mentioned, just blast beats in your face, and then Arch Enemy.
Dude,
I mean, looking back, that's probably why they did it that way. There wasn't there was that little pause.
It's a palate cleanser. It's a palate cleanser. Like
so the whole crowd would have brain damage,
yeah,
exactly.
know, right?
All three of those back to back.
Dude, Arch Enemy kicks ass, dude. Isn't Jeff Loomis in Arch Enemy?
Now he is, yeah.
He is now, yeah.
Yeah,
that's shredder.
That's the guitar player at the Gates too, right?
No. He's
he was in Nevermore.
Nevermore.
Yeah.
There's no At the Gates members in there. I thought I heard something.
In
Arch Enemy.
Arch Enemy. Oh yeah,
probably the drummer maybe or something.
The guitarist or one of the guys, isn't it?
Yeah, what's up, dude? It's the guitar player, like I said.
Yeah, like is it the Emmett?
No, Michael Emmett was in Carcass for a while.
Oh, I'm getting it all fucked up.
Yeah.
Out the Gates. Well, no, that's the. Okay, let's get it right. That was In Flames. They did that, and then the.
Where's the? Well, we can't trust Metal Archives anymore, dude. The last 2 episodes have been like, oh, dude,
we got wrong.
You were in this band, and they're like, no.
Didn't you tell me before we went on? Did you say something about they said that I was in Origin?
Yeah, you say X Origin on Metal.
Does it?
What is it? Metal Archives.
I didn't even know that.
Maybe by proximity, just you guys were in.
He was a shadow member.
Joseph.
I was there. Yeah, I was there on my skateboard watching him play back in the day when I was like 14. I was technically there. Fair enough.
Okay, what about touring with Cannibal Corpse?
Yeah,
Jeremy?
I wanted to get into that too. How did that come
Touring
about?
with Cannibal Corpse
Or playing for them? Yeah.
Okay, well, little insight into that. That last tour that I did with Origin, obviously it was with Hate Eternal, and I met and got along with Rutan pretty well. So fast forward, I get a call from Eric because he's busy doing I Monarch, so he couldn't do it for him. But Jack had just left to do his Adrift project, and Eric told me that Jack had left and that they needed a guitar player and would I be interested? And I'm standing next to my wife and she sees my fucking holy shit face go on and she's like, what? So I wrote Cannibal Corpse down on a piece of paper and she started freaking out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, fuck yeah, I'm interested. I was like, he goes, all right, I'll give Alex your number and call you. So I got off the phone, freaked out for a couple of minutes, and then he called. I talked to him. We worked it out. I flew. I think this was on a Sunday. I flew to Tampa on Friday to live with George and his wife for 3 weeks before we toured Mexico. So I got to learn 18 songs in 3 weeks by practicing tablature and watching fucking YouTube videos.
My feet just started sweating in my flip-flops right now, dude. As soon as you said 18 songs in 3 weeks, my feet got moist.
Were you playing those songs as a fan before at all?
No.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I knew the songs, but I never really learned those by ear.
Damn.
And even if I had, it probably wouldn't have been right. So, but no, they already had a set list, and so he gave me the set list before I left, so I put it all on CD in order so I could fucking practice. So I'd learn songs and then go back to George's and practice them, and after 12, 13 songs, they all started to melt together. And then the first show in Mexico, we get to Mexico and we start playing, and songs that I listened to for a decade, I don't remember the next riff. Like, what the fuck? What's coming next? What's coming next? And then as soon as it starts, oh shit, okay, yeah, I got it.
Damn.
That's just I don't wonder what that is, dude. Like that like you played it, you've heard it, or you've played it so many times, yet there's these nights where it's just like, I don't know what's coming next. There'd be so many times where we were jamming with Odious and I wouldn't know until the like half second before the line starts what I'm supposed to say. And it's like you're fucking with yourself the whole time getting up to that, and then you're like in this thing, you're doing this thing, and you're like, fuck, this is coming up. You know, but I don't know what's going to happen then. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, yeah, it clicks in naturally.
It's understandable, though. Odious is intense, man. It's intense.
Yeah, Odious is fucked up to sing for, dude. Counting 7 all the time and shit.
Counting 7 the whole time. 7 and 5.
Yeah. Okay,
no,
so
definitely.
So one cool insight is that Rutan has been like hit up for Cannibal much earlier than he actually ended up joining.
Yeah,
he could have done that tour if he had been available.
Yeah, most likely, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand of that, he was the reason why I got contacted, because him and Alex are such good friends.
For sure.
Alex is like, well, who would you recommend? And my name came up, and that was either I get it or they didn't tour. So, I mean, no pressure.
Yeah.
So you started in Mexico, but how long of a tour was it, and how much ground did you cover?
By the way, we got Paul saying what's up too. We got Paul Ryan in the house. This is him.
What up, Paul?
He's throwing some stuff in here.
Origin DVD footage.
Oh, I'm sure. No. Mexico was 5 dates, and then we went back, and then we did South America, which was like, if I remember right, like 13 dates. But it was fucking crazy because we had to fly everywhere for those shows. So it was like the no sleep tour. We show up at the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning after not getting done playing until like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Damn.
Damn. And then I think we went over to Europe for some festivals, and we did an American-Canadian tour with Black Dahlia Murder and Severed Savior, which was sick as fuck seeing those guys play every night.
Yeah.
And then we did a European tour with Spawn of Possession, which was completely crazy.
Jesus.
So it's like all that, yeah, dude. That's so funny. It's like you're playing guitar for like when they play with all these sick, unique leader bands, dude.
We've like talked about all those tours with other people from those bands on this podcast before. So I didn't realize you were in the band at the time. So that's rad.
Yeah, like they had all these tours already planned out, so it was just a whirlwind of shit. I mean, I even played Vakken that year.
Nice.
Jeez.
So many different festivals. I think I played 90 shows in 53 countries that year.
Fuck.
Damn. Jesus
fucking Christ, dude. And I'm thinking about this now, and I'm probably gonna, bring up some shit when I say this, but it's like, once you do a Cannibal tour like that, 90 something shows, international, fucking all this shit, like to come back to the underground, dude, what was that like after it was all over? Going out and touring with Unmerciful after that.
Well, see, I mean, that was what I'm used to. I got to go do that big shit and play like I was in a big band for a while, and then I came back to what I was used to.
Yeah. So you didn't really feel any, you're like, you got a taste of it. It was fun, but really you're used to coming back to this shit because this is what you were doing before that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I would, it's like, you would think like there would be some kind of like depression or something like, oh, dude, that was like the highlight, like I know it's like Cannibal. Of course it's going to be a highlight, but just to be like, oh, dude, now that's over. Now I'm back to, but that's still also, this is me being negative, that also could be a fucking thing to spark a fucking fire to get going and fucking come back and get creative too, so what the fuck am I talking
well, that's exactly what that was. It was a spark. I mean, yeah, I got to see the other side of the business as to where you can actually be successful. I mean, those guys haven't had a job since like Tomb of the Mutilated.
Right.
So, I mean, another job besides music. They haven't had a normal job since Tomb of the Mutilated.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, I mean, you get to see the other side of that. I mean, it was weird for me to do that shit because I would help the roadies load shit in because I was bored.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have to do this. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm used to loading in, so I'm just gonna help because
you never let it get to you. Yeah. You never let the being at that level make you feel like you're above anybody else. You're just like,
no.
I'm used to loading my own shit in anyways, dude. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Burn some calories before we get up on stage.
Yeah, Cannibal's like basically the benchmark for like, a death metal band being your job. Like they're like they're the top, right? They're the
and even for bands like us, it was like that was the tour to get on, to be the opening band on a Cannibal tour. Like everybody was aspiring to be that band.
As a kid, I remember staring at like it was like a 5-band tour of Cannibal Corpse at Slim's in San Francisco, and I remember just watching. I was a little kid watching the opening band, some random like metal blade band that they just signed, and just staring at them, going like, "You guys are living the fucking dream right now." You know what I mean? Let's go. Like, you guys have made it, dude. You're done. You're done forever. And they're like probably getting 200, 150 a night, something like that. But like at the time, I didn't know the business part of it, so I was sitting there just going like, "Holy shit, that band gets to play with them!" Like right now, it's like a sold out show at Slim's. Like this is like as a child, I was like, this is what I wanted. I want to be that band.
But it was a sick tour too. Like for example, the Cannibal Cephalic Deeds of Flesh. Like what the fuck right there? Yeah, that's a triple fucking threat right there, dude.
Right, exactly.
And then Dusty's on merch duty for Deeds that whole tour, so he got the ropes. And then boom, Severed goes out for the next one.
Yep, definitely. It's a circle of life. All right. Well, fuck yeah. So Cannibal Corpse. So you played with them for a few tours. You said what 150 shows? You said
about 90 shows, probably around 6 months.
Okay,
is what I toured with them for.
Definitely. So how did you like? I mean, I know we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but your perspective changed going from Cannibal Corpse back to what you were, Unmerciful Origin stuff you were doing before. How was your like? Were you skewed in any way, or did you have any kind of like grandiose? Kind of like, did you project it on the band? Like, dude, this is what they did. Like, what's going on? We need to do this and this. Did you learn how much? Like, did you learn a lot from it?
Oh yeah, I learned. So yeah, I just tried to push a little bit. Like I actually joined Unmerciful before Cannibal called. So I told Clint, I was like, dude, I got the call from Cannibal. I'm gonna have to bow out for a while. And he's like, oh, totally understandable. Do that shit. So I did that. Came back. Rejoined Unmerciful, and we recorded that Unmercifully Beaten. Well, we recorded the demo, shopped it to Eric, got signed. Unmercifully Beaten came out, and then that was our first tour, was opening up for Cannibal. Unmerciful, Necrophagist, Dying Fetus, Cannibal.
Fucking A, dude.
Jesus. That's a tour.
That was definitely a fucking tour. That was a monster tour.
Damn.
Right, I forgot.
That's cool. So you come back and you're like, "Hey, what up, dudes? I'm back."
Yeah,
You know?
right.
Like,
Yeah,
Now I'm opening for you.
trip, dude. That's such a trip.
Yeah.
you're like,
What
"Can I
year
still
was
get
that
some of your
again?
rider though? Can I still get some of your rider? A couple more beers, you know?"
Yeah. Can I stay on your bus? Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? Can I get a bunk?
Yeah, totally. Wait, so
That's
what year?
awesome.
What year was that? That tour? That
2006.
okay, crazy, dude. Right
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
that's right before Justin comes into the fold. You said 2007 before we started, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Okay, so I think this might be a good time to take it back with Justin a little bit, dude. Let's see what's up with Justin. Same question, bro. Take us back to the beginning.
Okay, the story isn't nearly as extensive as Jeremy's.
That's all right. Let's butt us up to where we're at right now.
And music-wise, I'll go back to the same questions you had there. That's the ones you wanted, obviously. Getting interested in music. No, it's definitely mostly like my mom always listened to a lot of soul and a lot of Motown and stuff like that. So she was always into that, always music around the house. And so I took an interest in music in general, but, my parents had a really good, vinyl collection and stuff. And lots of, Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and Molly Hatchet and things like that. And of course, I just hearing some early Black Sabbath always made me real interested, and classic rock was always cool and all that kind of stuff. But then you start finding your bands like Metallica and Slayer and, Megadeth, obviously, and get into that a little bit more. But I always, you got to consider, I was born in '83, so a lot of that really, really heavy shit was coming out by the time I started getting into heavy music. And luckily, I vibe with like Clint and Jeremy especially well because I like old classic death metal just like they do,
Mm-hmm.
But my buddy Matt Gibbs from a band called Horacle, that they're not around anymore, but they were for over a decade. Like him and I grew up together. We're good friends. His older brother was really into early death metal, and he hooked us up with mixtapes and stuff like that. And then later let us borrow CDs and stuff. And I remember he had this one mixtape that had stuff from Carcass and Entombed and Obituary and Morbid Angel on there. And I remember hearing Immortal Rites for the first time. And that breakdown in the middle, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's just like, man, everybody's trying to go faster, but this band's not afraid to slow down. This shit is off the hook.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing that on a cassette tape on this beat up mixtape that was kind of warped and shit. And just thinking to myself, like, all right, now that's where it's fucking at. That's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
getting
into it a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, you hear this song. You see Ace Ventura at the theater, and you're like, wait a minute, I know that song,
Yeah. Totally.
So you just keep digging and digging a little bit more, finding out a little bit more that you can. And I did have a couple of guitars. I had one that my dad had brought home, and I had another one that I took guitar in grade school, and I fucking hated it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. But then again, they're making us play goofy shit on acoustic guitars that isn't cool, But I had found one of those too and dragged it home. And Matt and I got more and more into music, and same with my good friend Tom that lived next door. And we wanted to, start playing, Metallica songs and stuff. So my Aunt Becky bought me a guitar from Finger Hut, and I tried to learn how to. I tried to learn how to play it, and I was fucking terrible. I couldn't even tune that thing. So I set it up on a shelf for a while, and finally picked it back up and learned how to tune it. And once, just like Jeremy said, just started learning stuff by ear. And funny, one of the first songs I probably learned how to play all the way through, I believe, was also For Whom the Bell Tolls, because it's easy. It's slow. It's not too fast,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
someone who just picked this up and kind of sucks. I mean, of course it's an easy song. And in fact, so I met good friends of mine back in school. Matt Gibbs is one of them. And then in junior high, I met a guy named Mike West, who was an awesome drummer for his age because he'd been playing in jazz band for a long time. And a good friend of mine named Clint Ludjohn, who started playing bass. And a friend of mine named Aaron Keller. We all started a band called Foundation's Edge. And those poor fucking guys, they were all so much better than me, and they had to wait for me to catch up.
I have to stop you there. I have to stop you there because of that band name. I don't think anybody else on this podcast knows the reference to that, but it's an Isaac Asimov book from the Foundation series, right? It's
yes,
one of the,
absolutely.
Is that in the first trilogy, or is it in the sequels or prequels? I can't remember where that falls in the timeline of that story. It's like 7
It was the
books
first,
total.
wasn't it? Yeah, I believe it was the first. And
Okay.
My guitar player.
The Foundation was the first. The Foundation was the original. The original, because it was a short story in old science fiction magazine. Then there was so much like, oh, we want more, that he adapted it into a novel. Then they're like, oh shit, we want more. So he went into the trilogy. And then after the trilogy, he did 2 sequels. And then after that, he did 2 prequels, and then he died.
Yeah, I almost kind of wish that Aaron was here right now, because I know that was a lot of his doing, because he was such a science guy. He actually ended up
James Rexford, thank you very much, dude. It's the 4th book.
James,
so it started the
yes,
in the chronological.
Perfect.
Is it chronological? If you're saying 4 in the chronological aspect, or how it was released, either way, I think it might have been the first prequel then, if it's the 4th book, because of the trilogy, and then he did the sequels, then the prequels. Nerd shit, guys. Isaac Asimov.
Yeah, those are actually things that I'm not even completely aware of. I mean, I've read some of those books, but not in such a long time.
He's an author that Aaron, he won awards in every single literary form of writing except for one, and I forget what it is now. Boom.
James, sorry, what's the band name that you guys are?
Foundation's Edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's sick. Sounds like an 80s like prog metal band or something.
It's kind of crazy. I still have some recordings of that stuff, and it's not nearly as intense, because I couldn't really play death metal yet. I wasn't that good. But a lot of it's pretty trippy. Lots of clean riffs, lots of like effects and stuff on it. If you heard it compared to what I write in Unmerciful, you'd be like, that's you? What the hell's going on, man? But yeah, like, as far as that was my first band, and that was the only band I had all the way until I joined Unmerciful. And we basically just we did a bunch of high school stuff. We played at talent shows, and we played at parties and things like that, and we had a lot of people that really liked us. I mean, I will say, even for our age, man, we wrote some pretty good music. It was very, very well written. And
definitely.
But we still jammed around, and of course I started jamming with like a little bit more with Mike and my buddy Warren Fox. I don't know, Warren's probably not watching, but if he is, that's my metal dude. Me and that dude have been to literally probably thousands of concerts together. That dude's like my metal brother forever. And we started doing a little bit more heavier stuff, and it kind of became a 3-piece where Warren played bass, and started writing some more intense death metal kind of stuff. And I'd get a little carried away with 15 riffs a song and shit. And but we would still jam around and practice, but we didn't do shows or anything. But then come time to hanging out, we used to play at this place all the time, or we used to go to this place all the time called The Static, and our buddy Joey Pentozzi opened up here in Topeka, and Unmerciful was still fairly new and all that kind of stuff. And then when it came time to Jeremy decided that he wanted to stay home and focus on the family and everything and not do the touring anymore. I've known James for years, and hell, in fact, I've known Clint since I was about 13, because he gave my friend Clint Letjohn bass lessons. So we've known him for a long time. And of course, with all the Origin guys and all the other bands around here, like Once Living and stuff, we'd ride our skateboards over and watch them play, and they were always super cool. Like, man, these kids better not be drinking or nothing over here and getting our asses in trouble. But hey, as long as you're here to chill, these kids are pretty cool. They like death metal, man. Let them chill. And but like, I talked to Clint and James up there at the Static quite a bit, and again, I knew them, so they were like, they told me at one point, like, hey, you know, we need a new guitar player. And James had actually been on my ass to jam with him for a long time, but I was always like, oh man, I work like 60 hours a week. I don't have time for, you know, like a real serious band or whatever. And finally they had said, like, pretty much the exact words are like, man, I've heard for years that you're like the best kept secret around here, man. Why don't you come fucking prove it? And so found out where they were practicing at, you know, and went ahead and loaded my gear up. And I went to the wrong storage place, and I was like half an hour late. But I remember going in, you know, setting my stuff up, and they're like, all right, check it out, let's learn a song. And I learned Shotgun Sodomy. Learned it on the spot, played it through several times, and they're like, all right, cool, man, we might be in touch. So I loaded my shit up and went home. And before I even got home, they called me or like, hey man, you want to go out and let's have a beer or whatever. And I remember walking into this place for James, and then obviously Derek, he wasn't even here when I tried out. He was on the road with another band. And they're high fives, and they're like, man, you're fucking in, dude. You're totally hired, man. I'll see you practice tomorrow. And then, you know, I think I joined in May, like sometime in the middle of May in 2007. And then by July 4th, I was playing my first show on my first tour with them, with Vital Remains and The Absence in Roanoke, Virginia, or something like that. So it was pretty quick. I had about 6 weeks to get going, and I only played, I think, 2 shows, maybe 3. I think there might have been like 2 in Topeka, 1 in Kansas City, and one of those shows we opened for like Dying Fetus, and so it all happened pretty quick. And then, you know, we did a few more tours, and then like that next year, fast forward, I'm over in Europe getting my ass kicked in ping pong by Joel in Germany. You remember that shit? I know you do.
Oh man, no, totally. That was I remember that. Like, actually, we played a bunch of shows in Germany, so I don't remember what venue, but I remember having the ping pong tournament, dude. Like with the Flo from Cryptopsy and
yeah. Flo can play some fucking ping pong, dude.
Yeah. I
like ping pong when you came to Pacifica too. We'd go to Cheers and play ping pong.
Oh man,
Joel's like a secret, like legit ping pong player.
I don't know. I like.
Oh, he is, dude. He's like Forrest Gump and shit, man. He's good at that. He's fucking good. I don't think I even scored a point against him, man. It was like, goddamn, that was quick. Like, good lord, like I think he like, I don't know. It's like
we get super
2-minute match or something, man.
I get super competitive with Joel all the time, so I'm like jumping for shit. Yeah.
Dude, there's a place in I want to say Connecticut or somewhere where it's called the Croc Rock or something like that, But it's next to a pizza place, and they have a ping pong table. And if you beat the owner at ping pong, he gives you like $100 and a free pizza. Like he's so confident.
Yeah.
He's like, wow.
Have you ever done it?
No. So it was me and Steve Jones of Faceless, and we went against him and I think maybe a coworker or something. And it came down to the last point, but he beat us. But it was like, I haven't like, I just have like, I remember my my like old like stepdad like had a ping pong table, and I played it for like a few months, and I just like got it down. It was just all about tricking people, like misdirection, like going like, yeah, it's up, and just like going all quick down or something like that. Like it was all like, it wasn't like actual skill. It was just like, it was just me like fucking with them.
Funny, dude. Oh yeah,
but yeah,
realism in this, dude.
Exactly. No, I fucking love ping pong, dude. I suck at fucking pool. I have a pool table downstairs in my house. I have a pool table, and I'm terrible at it. Like,
see, that was my tour game is pool. Yeah. Me and Mike Gilbert and Craig Peters. Shout out Craig Peters from Deeds. That was like, we'd beeline to the fucking billiard tables if we had one, dude. As soon as we could, it's like, when are we fucking playing, dude? We're just gonna play until we have to play on stage, basically.
Dude, it's same. Yeah, pool and ping pong, same thing. Like you watch like ping pong's like in the fucking Olympics or something. Like I've seen like these guys going at it where it's just insane. Like they're just like going like it's like full tennis. Like it's like they're running like 15 feet away from the table and catching shit and like hitting it back and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not, I'm just like I'm not trying to hype my ping pong game. I haven't played in like 10 years.
I'm not that good at anything. Like, Jesus, man.
I'm not trying to roll an ankle fucking to save the point, dude.
That was in Forrest Gump, right?
Knock over some random old lady who finally has some dick on the line, like she's
Yep. There it is.
Oh man.
There it is. That's what Casey said.
know what I'm talking about though in Forrest Gump though, and he gets all gnarly. And
That's what Justin said. I forget the ping pong scene, but yeah.
Oh, you forget it? Oh, it was sick. He was like
so that was a decrepit birth in Unmerciful Europe tour.
Oh yeah, so
that was awesome too.
That. So are we there now?
That was
yeah.
Okay.
Talking about the ping pong. So I mean, yeah. Go
right.
for
Okay.
it,
Yeah. Obviously. So, fucking. Oh, I was just gonna say that I'm on full screen.
You're on the full screen, dude.
I don't like being on full screen. It's okay though.
I love that you see yourself and Joel.
I'm like, oh, dude, come on.
We've been
Casey was just putting random people on full screen like while they weren't talking.
I didn't know how to do it, dude. It's a new platform. Come on, man, give me a break. No, it is funny. I've said this before when we had Derek on a while back, dude, and I was like, man, I just remember like first time, like the only time I've been to Europe, and we like fly there, and we like fly into Berlin airport, and we're in there and it's decrepit, and all of us are hanging, and we're like waiting. We're like, okay, Unmerciful's flying in and stuff, and we know all you guys, but like, we're just like, we've never toured with you yet. And we're like all stoked, and we just we see you guys, and then we're like looking, and they're not there. Then all of a sudden we like see this group of dudes, like this tall dude with like this cowboy hat. And it just stands out like a sore thumb in Berlin airport. This guy, this tall dude in a cowboy hat and a big mustache, whatever, long hair, and like, oh, there they are. Let me go over there, and it's just like so funny. It was like, yeah, what's up, guys? Like totally just Unmerciful in Germany, and we're like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, and we were just like, we had so much fun, man, and we shared a bus and like.
Yeah, that was
so many fun times. That was like one of my funnest
trial
times.
Yeah, it's probably
the
best tour.
Fun.
Probably the best tour because
ridiculous.
we were just like all of a sudden we just show up at the Berlin airport like, all right, what next? Like, what are we where are we supposed to go? What's supposed to happen? I remember the bus was waiting for us for like 3 hours while we were standing in that corner. We were like in a corner with Cryptopsy, Unmerciful, and us, and we're sitting there just going like, where the fuck's the bus, dude? We're in the pickup area, but it was like in the parking lot the whole time, like waiting for us. Like, where the fuck are you, dude? Like it was ready for us when we landed. It was like totally ready for us. But the cool part was I remember like it drove us to the first venue. We had a full day to just get to know each other, like with Cryptopsy, Unmerciful, and Decrepit, and there's like a fancy, not a fancy beer, just like a beer store, like standing there. And we went over to the beer store and got like all this. We just fucking loaded up on all this beer and just sat, and it was all warm because fucking that's how they do it out there. But we get all this beer and we just start chugging beer and breaking the ice. That's like, well, basically like, we're all like shell shocked or from just being in Germany. We're like, what the fuck? We're in Germany right now? This is insane. And then it just basically turned into a full out like hangout. Like we all got wasted. Like I don't think there was not one person that wasn't like semi close to blacking out. It was like,
dude, it was a straight up block party. It was a fucking block party in the parking lot, man. It really was. And we even slept on the bus.
That's right. No, my memory is we slept on the bus. I woke up at like 5 a.m, which I don't even know the fucking time difference, but I woke up at 5 a.m. just so thirsty because we just drank so much of and they had like these German Budweisers. Remember, they were German Budweisers that like were like green bottles. 16
beers a piece, man.
I know, it was insane. And I was like dying. There's no fucking water on this bus. Like when I wake up in the morning, and I'm like I'm actually kind of freaking out. I'm like, dude, I drank so much last night, and I haven't had water in like 16 hours. Like I need water. So I walk down like downtown Berlin or where the fuck we were, and I was like, probably like a homeless person at this point. I was like bags under my eyes, like fuck, like I'm literally like on my last like calorie to burn. I'm like looking around, I'm like looking around, and I can't find fucking water. I'm going into the bars, they're turning me away because I look insane, and I finally find this little cafe bakery thing. And I go in there and I'm like, finally, it's like the conversion rate of this bottle of water is like $20. It's like an insane expensive bottle of water. And like, cause the like US currency was super down and theirs was up or something like that. And I was like,
I think we were like, it was like 152 for a euro at that point or something like that.
Yeah. It was, I mean, for a pound was like 2.5 dollars for 1 pound or something. So it was like,
yeah, it was pretty, because that's right, because we took that ferry to England that one time and played at that rad ass joint.
Yep. No, it was like literally like I just remember finally getting the water. Like I got the water and it was sparkling fucking water, and I was like, it was the most unquenching from what I needed. So I had to go back and buy another
waiting for
bottle.
Like somebody to knock it out of your hand while you're like ready to drink it.
Well, I remember just taking it, like spitting it out outside. Like, dude, this is not like I need the quenching. Even though, like, I think sparkling water probably has some hydration to it, but at the time, it just felt like the opposite of what I wanted. So I went back in, bought another $20 bottle of water that was like not the sparkly shit. It was like a legit like German bakery.
I love how you just handed the spark. No spark.
It's like this is spark on the spark.
It's like none of this. It's like they love.
It's just like drinking sandpaper, man. You know, it's like it was really weird. I didn't realize until we went over there. We were like, man, what the fuck is up with all this fucking carbonated water, man? Like, there's like a beautiful lake right there. What the hell's going on? That fucking water's probably better than this in the bottle.
Totally. No, I remember like another time we showed up to. It was the show where I remember Hannes from Necrophagus was there, and it was like kind of a shitty show. I remember, but it was like. I remember going in there. We had a writer that would just be like had cereal and like little sandwiches and like shit like that. I remember like there was a little like looked like a cup of sugar, like a bowl of sugar. You know, it looked like a bowl like for the cereal. You know, so I was just like it was like the basic ass cornflakes, and I was like, yeah, I want a little fucking sugar on this shit because I'm I want to I'm living my life. I want to taste good shit. So so I literally I just scoop like 3 scoops in there or something, and then I fucking take the first bite and it's fucking salt. And I'm like, oh my god! I was like, I was so bummed on like but also I was just getting used to how Europeans do shit. I was like completely just like, I don't know, just they had warm milk. It was warm milk with the fucking cornflakes and then fucking a salt topper, dude. Like I was, I was bummed.
I missed that. I was just waiting for a second. That sounds horrible, dude.
Yeah. Oh man, no, I thought it was sugar. Is what like the whole thing was. I thought, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that's like how they have their fucking cereal over there, dude. I'm like,
no, they don't eat cereal like that. I don't think anyone would survive eating cereal like that.
But it made sense. The warm fucking beers and the fucking only sparkling water, like warm milk and salt on my cereal, dude.
Yeah. The difference is a little bit of a shock. I mean, you can hear the stories all you want, but you don't realize it until you actually see it.
Totally.
I remember that place that we played in London, and it was like it was like a festival. And I remember we got food tickets, and they were like, "Yeah, the place is just right upstairs." And it was kind of like it looked like a London version of Times Square. It was super busy, with all the signs. Underworld. That's it. They gave us those food vouchers, and Clint and I went to walk upstairs, and we're like, man, is this the right place? And we walked into this place, and there was like crystal everywhere, and there was people wearing like suits and bow ties, and it almost like, when you walk into somewhere and you hear like the record scratch, and you're like, oh shit, we're not supposed to be here. Yep. So this guy in like a food window, he's like, no, come on in, you guys are in the right place, come on. So the promoter had told us, he's like, hey, you guys need to go upstairs. We have the best fish and chips in London. I'm like, oh, do you now? Well, we're gonna see about that. Mm-hmm. And I remember eating the chips, and they tasted just like McDonald's. And we were joking about that because we used to remember how we started joking about how we were calling McDonald's the U.S. Embassy out of the country, and we were calling it the embassy, and we're like, all right, we're back at the embassy. It's a taste of home. Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That venue was dope though, man. It really was.
I got a funny story about that venue. I remember so we got off stage, so it was us and Cryptopsy after, but we get off stage and there's a couple just having sex on our road cases. I
saw that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I walked.
I did that.
The girl was sitting there like looking all smiling, and the guy's like, "You want to join?" I'm like, Jesus, what is going on?
Yeah, I do. I have no idea who the people were, but I know that was the same chick that was completely covered in blow, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's it. I remember that very much. So I'm like, look, man, I'm just trying to walk back here and like get like an apple. Okay, like we had some fruit backstage and some bottles of water. I was just trying to go get something to eat, man. I was legit going back to get an apple, and I see this fucking debauchery.
Yeah,
London.
That was definitely just the weirdest thing to walk off stage to. Just like walk off, and there's just someone just getting like destroyed on the thing where I just put my place.
Well, the thing about it is there's backstages back there. There's couches and stuff. I mean, there's a lot more comfortable things than road cases. Like, man, I just thought, man, this place is off the fucking hook, man.
Totally. Same thought, dude. Same thought. No, that was, and they had, remember they had like cider. Everything was cider there. It wasn't like the beers were like 3% or something, and the cider was like 4.5. So it's like you got to get the cider, I guess. And it was just like before, and they're like, you try to tip them, they're like, "Fuck you." They get like mad if you tip them. I'm like,
hey, yeah. We saw some pretty weird shit about that, about like giving tips to people, and they're like, "What the hell is this? Why are you like, what is this? Why are you giving me this?" You know?
yeah, it's like a diss
what
to
a
them.
tip is. This is it was bizarre.
Why would it be a diss though? You know,
they took it as like, "Oh, you think I need this?" Is how they took it.
Okay.
They didn't take it as like, "Oh, thank you very much." They took it like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, I don't need your handout, you fucking asshole." Like, kind of is what they took it.
I got you.
No, it was kind of strange. That really shocked me as well.
No,
I remember explaining tips to people a couple of different times.
They probably get paid
That's
way
what
more
you guys do
per hour than our servers
Yeah.
do over here. That's why.
I mean, that might be the case.
Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah, they get a normal pay. They don't get this $2 an hour shit plus tips.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, my wife's a server. She don't make much an hour, but it's all about the tips, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know? And the tips
over here, if you're a
good.
decent person, you tip well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And that's definitely like, I mean, you could make tips will just range from like, "Oh, I made 200 to 1,000 tonight." You know, it's like such a big, like, just depending on who you get, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's a roller coaster.
Definitely. But yeah, no, Europe definitely was, I mean, like Casey said, it was definitely the most fun I've had on tour, because it was such a, we're walking in this other land we've never been, and we're just like, we're all trying to experience it together. We're all trying to find funny things to do together. And I actually have a random memory that I'm bringing up now, just talking right now, is you and the bass player of Cryptopsy getting in this gnarly argument where you were just like, "You know what? Fuck you, dude. I've always hated you." And you guys like got in this big argument, but at the very end, you guys were hugging, and I took a picture of you guys, and you guys like were taking a shot together. Like, you guys like patched it up super quickly.
I actually didn't even know that picture existed until somewhat recently, when you had posted a bunch of pictures from that tour. You found like a photo dump or whatever. And I remember seeing that one on there, and I remember seeing like some scratches on my hand. And it was because we were loading that gnarly gear out of that fucking venue in Austria. And I remember it was like narrow stairway, and like as we're carrying gear out, we're like rubbing our knuckles on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I
that was the place that wouldn't give Bill water.
Yeah,
that?
That's right.
How do they fucking stay hydrated over there, guys?
Dude, like Bill goes in there like. And like we're setting it for the show, and then they just kick him out, or they get like yell at him. They're like, "No," he's like, "I just want some water." And like I was setting it for the show, and it's because of the way he looked, or I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's definitely the way he looked. As far
we're
as
like, dude,
yeah. So Jeremy, like you like going over to different countries and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've been to. You said Mexico with Cannibal, right, and stuff like that. What were some of the like I don't want to call them obstacles, but what kind of like different shit did you see that kind of like tripped you out?
First time I was in Europe, the same thing with the fucking water. Pretty much the same thing. I spit it out. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
No bubbles. That's all I used to tell them. No bubbles. I want water, no bubbles.
Like they told us in Germany, Joel. Tell them you want water with no gas.
Yep.
You got it, man. No gas it is.
I remember being in, what the fuck was it? Lithuania, I think. And we played in this fucking like old government building. And the bartender, I went up to her, and it was kind of cold out and whatever, and I was feeling like I wanted like a hot cocoa or some shit. So I told the bartender, I was like, I want a hot chocolate. And she looked at me like I was fucking crazy. So she's like, "Okay." So a couple minutes go by, and she hands me the cup, and in the bottom of the cup is a fucking melted piece of chocolate candy bar. And I looked at her, and I'm like, "Oh, no. I mean, I meant hot cocoa." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So she frosted the milk with it and shit like that. Ended up being pretty fucking good. But the language barrier and the different culture, I mean, I didn't fucking word it right, apparently. So I got a melted chocolate bar in the bottom of the mug at the beginning of it. So
that's pretty funny. I've never heard that, Jeremy.
Yeah, felt like a fucking moron. But like I said, it ended up being pretty fucking good when I got what I wanted.
really is just missing the hot milk. That's all it needed. And you just stir that shit up. It's really the same kind of chocolate they use, right?
Yeah.
As a chocolate bar.
Yep.
I remember you're saying what's the Justin, the McDonald's, like that was like our embassy or something. I went to Copenhagen. I saw this random thing of Copenhagen. I was like, I just want a fucking burger, fries, and a drink. That's all I want. I remember talking about exchange rates and shit. Like it literally cost me when I got home and looked at my bank statement. It was fucking like $52. Like it was
Jesus, dude.
They charged me for like, you know, the exchange thing, and then like a fee for that, a fee for, you know, like obviously, I mean, then the actual fucking currency changeover they charged me, and it came out to be like, yeah, it was like $52 or something, and that was back in like 2008, something like that, and that was like, I was like, well, you know, it was fucking worth it. I was starving.
The lesson learned is to get your currency switched out before you go into the country.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's definitely the lesson. That's definitely.
Dude, Joel, do you remember that time we were in Prague and we played that show with Vader?
Yep.
We all took a walk and we went to that. It was like it was the only restaurant we could find that would take euros because we didn't have, you know, the Kronos or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting 2 pepperoni pizzas and just like a round of beers, you know, for everybody that was there. And they ended up being pizzas that were smothered in Thai peppers. And that pizza was like incinerating. It was so fucking hot. I could barely even finish a couple of pieces. And they're like, oh, no, you guys are Americans. No, what you wanted was salami. This isn't pepperoni. These are the actual peppers. So we're like, whatever. We went ahead and ate it anyway. And then we got the bill, and it was
I'd be down with, dude.
we ended up we got the bill, and it was like 15,000 crowns or something like that, and we were freaking the fuck out, like, man, what the Jesus Christ, we don't have this kind of money. And they're like, oh, you're paying in euros, and it ended up being like 13 euros.
Yeah.
Crown. So it's like, oh, you silly Americans.
I know. God. That was because everyone talks about how beautiful Prague is and stuff, and I think we were just like a more business district, right? Because we didn't go to like the beautiful part of Prague. We went to like the more blue collar like area of it. So it was like all these people, like hardworking dudes, like covered in fucking work, you know, just like work residue, like. And
yeah, because like we were in Prague 8, and Prague 1 is the really beautiful part that looks like real life Disneyland, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it was. Because I remember going there. This is Prague, like. I'm like stepping in all this mud, and everyone's like covered in mud.
What number were we in again?
And that building looked like it was just it looked like some shit off Pink Floyd's The Wall or something, you know? Like it was just like this. It's like, this is a venue. This place don't even look like it's been in operation, man. It looks like it looks Detroit.
Yeah.
No, totally. No, that was definitely a fucking. I mean, and on the drive over too, because we're just sitting, because we had that big lobby in our bus, so it would just be like. Sit there, drink beers, and like see all the castles and shit going by, and I'm like, oh my god, we're going to fucking Prague. This is gonna be fucking exactly what I wanted my whole life to see this. And then you get there and you're like, oh, you know, like I remember I got home and I was like, Prague kind of was gross. It wasn't that cool. I don't know.
Well, we did end up seeing some of that stuff from a distance, and I know we went to go take a bus ride or take a train, and we all kind of were walking around and we're like, man, we can't read none of these signs. Maybe it's not such a good idea to go, you know, taking a train miles and miles away and not know how to get back.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. That's right.
That's
do you remember
right feeling to have at that moment.
One of the funniest memories I actually have, and Casey's going to start cracking up on this one, is when we got to Slovakia and how they just like figured out that there was like such things as a digital camera, and every single person had a digital camera, and every single person at that like show that had 300 or 400 people like wanted to take a picture with you. So you literally had to like start like we'd put on like after we got off stage, we'd go in the backstage and we'd put on like disguises to not get like constantly like people just wanting a picture. They had like a certain name for it, but it was constant pictures. It was like you couldn't like go anywhere. They wanted the pictures. Like that was the one thing they wanted. It was bananas.
I remember that. I do. That was a piano club. Yep. And that was remember the venue was upstairs. We had to take the elevators up.
Yep.
And that was the day we walked and went to that castle.
Oh, I didn't go, but I saw your guys' pictures.
I did. Yeah,
some of us went to that castle, and man, we walked around for a while, and then found a guy that worked there, and then he gave us the actual tour, and we went all the way to the top of that castle. And I remember it was like a beautiful day, like rolling hills, like little fluffy clouds. It looked like a fucking like it was like if you could like see a poem, you know, and
Yeah.
but the guy he pointed to this other castle that was over on this hill, miles and miles away, and he's like, "You see that castle up there? That was Elizabeth Bathory's castle." And I remember thinking, "Fuck, we should have walked that way, man. That's a cat." Because the castle we went to had like some like lame ass story. The one we went to was like he was the first king to build a well or something lame as fuck, you know. But I do remember those pictures. There was a whole bunch of people. He's the one who invented the moat.
Like, irrigation.
But
this guy.
The picture thing, yeah, I do remember that because all these cats were like wanting to take pictures of my guitar. Remember, I had that DC Ricks, that right. 2003, the Skull V, you know.
Yep.
And they were like, all these people were taking pictures of my guitar. Like, there's more pictures of them people with my guitar than me. Which it was really cool because they were all super, super nice, man. It was a great show. There was a lot of people there. I remember it was a big place too.
Totally. No, it was kind of just a culture shock. You know, it looked like it was. When I got there, it kind of felt like it was probably, 15 years behind of where I currently live was. It was like they just got the camera. They're like, everyone's got one. They're just like, dude, we need to use these motherfuckers like on everything. It's like wanted to capture everything. And no, that was probably the biggest culture shock going from America to Europe and stuff was definitely Slovakia, and seeing that, they were all, like you said, they were all super cool, super nice. Everyone was like super excited. They were just like, they wanted to be a part of it. Like they wanted to capture it. They wanted to be there. They wanted it to live forever. And I was like, just blown away by it,
Yeah. Even that first night we were there in Berlin, like that place, that compound was awesome, man. What the hell was that place called? Like the Red Seven or something like that?
Something like that. It had a bunch of different levels with different shows going on, right? And different clubs and stuff. Yeah.
And dude, even the first night that we played, I remember, we opened up and man, there was like 1,000 people there. And and then after we got done, we loaded out, and there was another show. And I remember that band was called Suicide Terminal Choice. It was kind of like some Rammstein kind of techno metal kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I remember seeing them guys in their crazy gear, Suicide Terminal Choice, and there was even more people there when they played. It was nuts. I'm like, man, these cats get down, man. I mean, like live music is huge there, man.
Yeah.
What
Definitely.
a fucking name, dude! Suicide Terminal Choice, dude.
Man, yeah, it's so good.
It's
like,
two
of
things.
Course
it's like
your choice. You did it.
It's a terminal choice. You're just saying suicide twice in different terms.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
like
so
two
good.
different At the Gates songs combined.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
dude! Do we have any like questions or anything from the internet?
Yeah, let's ask.
Yeah.
Solicit, man. Any questions from the homies?
There's been a lot of stuff coming in. It's just I just didn't want to like.
Dude, who's looking at the YouTube? Is there any other shit on the YouTube? I don't know. I see nothing but you guys right now, so I don't know what's going on.
I know.
We got the comments. We got all your comments right
section
here. I can see them all. I see all of them. I see everything.
All right,
it's good.
Anthony, if you can choose between private chat and comments, just go to comments. You should see it all.
It's on your screen. Should be.
At the bottom, I see stop cam mic share.
Just don't be in full screen.
Yeah, get out of full screen.
Oh, exit full screen. Okay.
I'm all click stop cam. I'm just kidding.
Bro.
Don't do that.
No, don't. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now where do I go?
We had. You can see Paul was on for a while. That was cool.
Yeah, Paul was the Origin DVD.
He's
footage.
Origin DVD. Yeah.
I don't want to leave the studio. A private chat.
Also, shout out to Max.
Okay.
Max from Anomalous. He wants to see the.
I know. I told him.
We're learning about the Twitch thing. I just randomly signed up, like, and started like watching how it worked, and like seeing Scott Carstairs from Fallujah and Justin from the Zenith Passage and stuff like that. It's actually kind of a cool. I thought it was for video games only, but there's this metal guys that go on there and just play metal, and then like they talk to the people, and people like shoot them like like random requests and stuff, and it's like they're actually like it's actually like maybe kind of lucrative. Like
yeah,
it's like
sick.
It's crazy.
Cool.
It's a trip.
Yeah, dude.
Really cool. So questions. Anyone wants to throw out some questions for our guest? Feel free. Otherwise, we should probably keep the timeline moving into post 2008 Unmerciful era.
Yeah, after that tour, I remember you guys were playing Summer Slaughter. That's the last time I mean, after that tour, it was Summer Slaughter, right? It was with Tony. Were you on that tour? Either one of you on that one?
Are you thinking of when Tony filled in for Psychroptic?
I am. I'm totally mixing that up. Shit.
Yeah, that's when. Like the singer had a baby and Tony filled in. He said he had a great time, man. Said those guys are fantastic.
That was a cool question, dude. That was
slam dunk.
Oh fuck. Oh man. But no. So I mean, Jeremy. So you basically Cannibal Corpse. So can you talk about like because you weren't in Unmerciful when we played. So what was the in and out of what like you going in and out? Because that's one thing the timeline I'm not really on.
So it tends to be that I've had problems with getting along with past members of both bands. Like I bowed out of Origin in 2002 because I wasn't getting along with anybody at the time, and that was probably just me being a dick. And then Unmerciful, I wasn't getting along with people. So that, and I just had a kid a year earlier with my wife, and I figured it was time for me to just kind of take a backseat from touring for a while. And so I bowed out of that, and then they got Justin, and John approached me about doing another Origin album. So that's how I ended up on Antithesis. And
Gotcha.
then I didn't tour with anything on that album because, like I said, I was taking the backseat to touring, and it's not really good to have a band member who can't tour. So that's Antithesis was the only album I was on from Origin since. So I mean, it looks like I just quit bands for the hell of it or something, but no, it was more of, I mean, getting along with people in bands can be rough when you're on the road.
Definitely.
I mean, you see bands all the time that have a carousel of members.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
did you write any of the material from Antithesis?
Yeah, I wrote. Yeah. Funny story. The song Algorithm actually was the original Enduring Torture for Unmerciful. The song Enduring Torture on Ravenous Impulse, like I took that song with me and they kept the title. But so I wrote Algorithm and Ubiquitous, and then Mike wrote most of the Appalling.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Those mean things to me. I know each of those songs, so that's fucking rad to hear. And Algorithm stands out as different from the rest of that album, for sure.
Yeah, like I did write that when I was still in Unmerciful, and then I changed a couple of the riffs around and added some other stuff to it, and that ended up on Antithesis. So
on Antithesis also, I mean, that's Longstreth introducing like the doubles on kick drums, and so you guys could kick it up a notch even faster than before, correct? Because of that technique. Yeah, that one's, I mean, everything we just said about Triple I, it's like a little bit more on Antithesis. And then the guitar tone on that album too is like
it's
insane.
I still have that rig. That was recorded with my rig. I still have that rig.
What rig were you using for that?
Dual rectifier and a Marshall 1960 VB cabinet.
Nice. Because I remember like I know Paul had like a pretty Frankenstein kind of deal going on when we toured with him in with Summer Slaughter. It was like all the rack gear, right? It was like that was like all the that was like, 'cause I remember back in those days it was kind of like trying to figure out what was the like there was the new rack gear with the power amp was like the brand new thing. That was like the new, people were like, "Oh, do you just get a Digitech, DS or a 2102 thing with the power amp, blah blah." And there's the purist people were like, "Well, no, fuck that. It's all about the rectifier or the fucking, It's like, seems like nowadays they're definitely like there's that world's still there, but it's definitely like, I don't know. Justin, what are you playing? What kind of like amp are you playing?
Same head Jeremy has, just a dual rectifier solo head, 100 watt.
Damn.
Well, that was one thing I did learn with Cannibal. Like when I first played with Cannibal, I was playing with a crate. I can't remember the fucking model. It was a 300. It had the handwriting look on it.
Voodoo?
Yeah, the Blue Voodoo 300. Yep. So I was playing that for a while, and I went on another tour, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring all my shit. I had like a tri-axis and all this other rack shit, and I was like, I'm going to fucking sound better, and I put it up against fucking Pat's fucking triple rectifier, and it fucking shot shit. I put it away. I was all embarrassed. I went and got that crate back, and I bought that dual rectifier in San Fran from Paul Ryan, actually, because he worked at the Guitar Center in San Francisco. Yep. So I traded all my rack shit there and bought that head that day when we played. Pretty sure it was actually the Pound.
Nice.
Yeah, we did. We played the Pound that day, and that's when I got that dual rectifier.
Nice. No, that was. Paul. Shout out to Paul watching right now. Paul was a big player with a lot of death metal bands with helping out with the gear. Back in the day, like at Guitar Center in San Francisco, he was the one that like gave if he were like in a band that he really cared about. Hopefully he's not. He might still be working for them, but hopefully it doesn't get him in trouble. But no, he would basically hook up a lot of the bands with these killer deals like back in the day. It was like really helped out a lot of bands that were, gear is so fucking expensive, and especially we're not like in a fucking lucrative industry of, have a ton of money. And Casey can speak,
dude. When I lived in San Francisco, so
yep.
there's for 1 year I lived like down the street from the Guitar Center in downtown San Francisco. Like I lived in this apartment like down there, and so I would walk up and go see Paul like all the time, And dude, I got so much gear. Like I bought so much stuff from Guitar Center. It was like insane. Like I got all these guitars, and I was getting recording stuff, which finally really made use of recently. Anyways, but so just getting recording stuff, and like he just always was there, and he would like take me in the back room and show me new Origin. I remember way back, even before I lived there. I don't know what year it was, but he like took me in the back and showed me Echoes before it came out, like at Guitar Center, like in this room, like this like mixing room with all the like the room with all the speakers and like the. He just locks it, or not locks the door, shuts the door and like locks it. He's like, you might try to escape, but you're gonna listen. No. When he shuts it, anyways, it was just like Echoes before, because that was early on for me, and I didn't know him before that,
Yeah, that was huge, like
for us,
all helping out all the bands and stuff. Like that's, there's Nate and stuff like that has stories. There's so many people I've talked to, like, oh, that guy from Origin works there.
Now that I remember, I was like 21 at that time. I had just moved up to the Bay or something, I think, and like I was like super like intimidated, like whoa. And he was just like, "What's up, dude? Come on, let's go back." Like all listeners, just like he's like the coolest dude. And I like looked up to him super huge because I was like up and coming and young, And like,
totally.
Then now he's just been a homie ever since. 20 years later, it's crazy. But yeah, you guys are huge legends for us. We like when we started this podcast, we were just like, dude, we got to get Unmerciful on. We got to get Origin on with like our favorite, like so. You guys are like encompassed like with all that because we have so many good memories and stories of like those tours and shows and shit. And you guys coming down to Santa Cruz again and playing. What year was that when you came back? To like the Atrium, whatever you guys played with
2011 or 12.
Was it right before King like kind of threw in the towel, right?
Oh, that was probably 13, wasn't it?
13?
Was it 13?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because you have to consider we had about a 3-year hiatus where I know Clint was going back to school, and like my son was really young, and I was doing this whole renovation on my place and stuff. So we put it down for a minute, and then got back about 2012, 13, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice.
So was that a tour? Because I was at that show, but I don't remember what the lineup was other than you guys.
Yeah. That was a tour. I don't even remember exactly how long that was, but it was. I think it was something. I think it was something that ended up coming to fruition around the Las Vegas Death Fest. I think
it was. I think it was like 2 weeks long.
Yeah. I think it was like we talked to Mike Gordon and he invited us to get on the Las Vegas Death Fest, and I think we put a tour together around that. I think that's what it was.
Don't read that. That was...
Yeah,
that's an old comment.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
I mean, we read it, but we can't acknowledge it.
So yeah, someone maybe from Origin asked about like something about Vegas and being lost, but we're gonna skip around that story.
when did you guys get Trent on drums? Is that way far ahead?
2017.
Okay, so there's some time in between.
What was he playing? What bands were like? What was he in before that?
Trent was in a band from Kansas City called Marasmus.
Okay.
Really fucking good band.
Yeah.
Really heavy, dark. And we knew about him. Like he'd opened up for Hate Eternal at a club called the Aftershock in Kansas City, Kansas. And actually he kind of tried out for Hate Eternal and then decided that it wasn't going to work out. But him and Eric know each other too. And Hate Eternal played the Aftershock and Marasmus opened. And I was standing there with Eric just shooting the shit with him and stuff like that. And he told me, he pointed at Trent while they were playing. He goes, "That's the drummer you want." I was like, fuck, he's already in another band. I'm not going to do that. But kind of timeline with that was James left in 2015, and we were ready to record Ravenous. So we got with John Longstreth, and he agreed to record the album for us, which, I mean, it was great. He had a couple months to learn it, came in, got the drums done in 3 days. So we had the album, we had that, and then I can't remember if I approached Trent or if he approached us about maybe playing live. I think I approached him about just doing live stuff for us.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back. I mean, we practiced stuff like that, and he came back about joining full-time, wanting to join full-time. So I think our first show with Trent was June of 2017. Sound about right, Justin?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. And then
I think actually the first show that we did with him was right after I shattered my heel.
Yeah, because didn't we do that show as a kickoff, and then we did that tour when you booked that tour around the Bay Area Death Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
How'd you shatter your heel?
Fell off a fucking ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. How high up?
About 10 feet, but I landed standing up on concrete.
That'll do it every time.
So I took a couple steps, felt the crunch. It's like, oh man. So yeah. God. I booked a 2-week run for us, and then I didn't get to go.
Chapped.
Jesus.
Hey, what's happening right now in the chat?
Oh, we got raided.
Max
getting raided right
us,
now.
dude.
Oh shit, they got the little raid.
Yeah, we're getting straight raided. So this is
Holy
the thing
shit.
I'm learning, because I'm like a boomer with this Scott.
Yeah, this is a new world for us. Whoa.
We got Scott Carstairs. We got all these people.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
What up, y'all?
What up,
What-
guys?
Hey, fans of Max Anomalous, welcome.
And it looks like Scott maybe. Fucking listen to
Damn.
Unmerciful, dude. Some brutal ass shit, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is crazy. This is exciting. Like new
Hey.
realm,
Hey everybody,
realm for
how's it
Cali Death
going?
podcast,
Yeah,
dude.
all right.
Sweet.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, Trent, dude, that guy loves blast beats, man, more than anyone else I've ever seen on the internet.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He'll be glad to hear that later.
Like 6 minutes of just straight blasting to some black metal song, and
Dude, I think
People
he's
like
got
nice.
I think he's got a video of a 17-minute long blast beat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus
He,
Christ.
he actually has the longest blast beat video on all of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
And like he beat it by like multiple minutes just to prove a point. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
a whole that's a whole thing. Like,
That'll be like a
challenge
Guinness
him.
book. That'll be a Guinness Book of World Records kind of thing. Like that'll be a thing like in the future. You know, there's like a person that can hold like a fucking what do you call where you have to hold your. It's like a what do you fucking call it when
but
you
don't
like
they
have
hit you up for a bunch of money?
a
for
plank,
that,
a plank.
dude? Like you actually got to pay
Yeah.
a bunch of money to actually like get your shit legit and then be in the book. It costs you thousands, dude. You're like,
Yeah.
do I really want to? Like the dude who had. the
Does it
fucking
really?
longest nail-
I didn't know
dude.
that.
I don't know.
costs
It
money,
doesn't
dude.
know. My buddy's got the world's longest tongue. He's been in the Guinness Book of World Records like I swear to God, like I worked with him for a long time. His tongue like goes down to like his bottom of his chin. It's like double Gene Simmons, and like he was been on the Steve
Like,
Harvey show.
don't say that name. You're gonna get sued.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Cease.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so funny.
it's definitely yeah, it's fucking bananas, dude. I mean, he actually made pretty good money having just a long tongue. He was just like,
Yeah, you probably make it back, but I'm saying I think it costs you some money to actually get like the whole thing to be like, okay, it's official.
yeah, you have to
They got to
pay
come
someone
out.
to come
they gotta
out.
see it. And yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. But you're gonna be in their book too, so it's got to kind of got to be a wash a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, just shout out to Trent and Metal Drummer Nerds, the like best Facebook group that I'm in, and I think he's an admin with his partner.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, just like a
Yeah.
super sick community of metal drummers just posting videos, and Trent's in there all the time, posting Unmerciful shit occasionally, but mostly other covers. And I try to throw in once in a while. But yeah, dude, just super supportive, and I've really been wanting to like see you guys live with him, man. Sounds like we're gonna get a chance to hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll see how these dates go. You know, and like
You want to plug
yeah,
that
and that-
flyer
and that
again,
whole-
now that we got all these people in the chat, dude?
Yeah, I know,
Joel?
dude.
Oh,
It's
plug the
crazy.
flyer. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
sitting
plug
there
that
just shaking
flyer.
my head. I'm like, fuck yeah,
Like,
dude.
come on,
Cool,
Joel.
dude. Hell yeah. So yeah, Pyrexia, Unmerciful, Stabbing. It's coming in May. Are there dates? How close are dates being announced?
That we don't really know. They're working on routing and booking everything right now.
You think
Yeah.
it'll make it out to Cali?
Fuck, we hope so.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Better, dude.
I'd love to fucking see you guys again. I'd love to. Pyrexia is actually on my list of bands that are super influential to me that I haven't seen yet, and I'd love to see him. So, actually, funny story. I don't know if he's still.
man.
I don't know if dude's still in the band, but I potentially have a family member in that band. Last name Trapani, however he pronounces it over there, but it's Danny Trapani. So I'm like, dude, that'd be sick to have a Pyrexia episode and have Danny on. The only thing I'm gonna be like, so
Like a family
are you
reunion.
related to this guy? Are you related to that lady?
It's like you are not the brother.
Yeah.
Dude, those East Coast Japanese though.
Yeah, dude. They came over and stopped. That's what it is. Dude.
Yeah, they don't wear sandals on stage.
Yeah, it's too cold.
Yeah. No,
Real
not
toe.
that.
Their winters were much more gnarlier.
Justin, have you ever worn sandals on stage?
Yes, I have one time on accident.
On accident.
On accident. You forgot your
Well,
shoes?
that's funny you ask. I know Casey and Joel know this, but I get so much shit about wearing sandals all the time because they're not metal, but they're fucking comfortable. I don't care.
Bro,
And
Sandal friendly
I-
over here.
we are.
I do. I remember one time we were in like what's the town that's close to like Duke and the Tar Heels, North Carolina.
Mm.
It's
like
those
Raleigh?
colleges are really
You got me.
yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Oh, Raleigh. Oh, yeah.
That we were like right in the middle of like that several mile stretch that those colleges are apart from,
Yeah.
and I remember getting up on stage to do a sound check. It was that Vital Remains tour, my first tour with the Unmerciful guys, and I got up on stage to do a sound check, and they're like, "All right, cool, go." I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's like 6 o'clock, and I remember I was wearing those sandals on stage, and Derek just kept giving me the fucking stink eye. Like, I didn't fucking know, man.
Nah, dude. I take that guy and I put my stink feet right in their eyes, dude, because I got
Yeah.
fucking flip flops on. It's
And I
funny
remember
how-
joking with him.
Oh,
He
sorry,
was like,
you
"What the
can-
fuck was that, Justin?" He's, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "Look, hey man, Chuck Schuldiner used to wear sandals on stage." He's like, "You know what?
Okay.
You're not fucking Chuck, buddy. Okay."
You're not Chuck Billy.
So
Okay.
look, I've done the sound check with sandals here and there, but I definitely make sure I put the shoes on. So
Yeah.
Anthony will stick through it. We'll just full sandals the whole show.
Okay, I didn't know this. So this is a known thing that Chuck would wear sandals on stage.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, dude, Anthony, you win. Bro.
Thanks.
I know. I think you won.
That's it. I'm done. I'm done.
I actually
Evil
recently
Anthony.
You win.
Severed
It's nothing-
footage.
Okay.
I had seen some severed footage
Anthony
recently
wins, dude. I'm
where I'm
sorry.
doing an intro to a song, and I remember this situation now because I heard what I said, and you know how it's like just a memory comes back. This lady was front row at a show, and she would not stop looking at my feet. So I'm introing "Fuck the Humans,"
Maybe you
and
got sexy feet. Dude.
I sidestep whatever I'm talking about, and I'm just like, "Look at those toes." That's what I said to her. Look at those toes. And then I went back into my intro, and then we started "Fuck the Humans."
There's definitely a level of
transition,
respect
though, like
that Anthony just stuck with it. We all made fun of him the whole time. We're like, dude, fucking sandals? You're gonna wear sandals? And you're like, fuck it, dude. And I think that even fueled him more to wear them. He's like,
Yeah, it
yeah, I'm
was
gonna
one of
wear them
those
even
things.
more. Like
Yeah.
I'm
the
gonna wear
whole
them.
time. The
My
whole
mom
time.
told me not to be
you
a
were
follower. So
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
all of a sudden he just wears one sandal and that's it. And it's like,
I went barefoot a few shows too.
yeah.
Dude,
I mosh pitted during a Severed set in Texas with flip flops on while I'm doing vocals, dude. And I didn't lose a flip flop, dude, the whole time. I know how to keep them on, dude. Murray used to give me shit. What?
I'm sorry for giving you so much shit about the sandals over.
It's
all
all
these
good.
years.
Murray used
I
to be
feel
like,
like
"How you gonna fucking run if somebody's? How you gonna run if somebody's chasing you, dude?" And I'm like, "Fucking curl the
kick 'em.
toes, dude.
No, you got to kick
Curl
him.
the toes."
Curl the toes. And just.
I literally have like
Hey.
fallen down my stairs.
Or just
with
lose
fucking
the
sandals on.
sandals and just haul ass with your bare feet. I mean,
I know, right? Yeah.
like,
Hey,
if you run
here's a
fast
little
enough,
something funny. Like Joel, Casey, remember how good I was at fucking playing hacky sack with sandals on?
Oh, that's
hell yeah,
right.
dude.
I do remember that. Holy
Goes
shit.
against
Every
his-
kick sounded like I was slapping a fish, dude. And we used to kill that shit, didn't we? It was funny. We used to play hacky sack like on tour, and everybody's like, "Man, that's fucking goofy." And then, 5 minutes later, they're like, "Oh man, I want to play." Like,
yeah.
That was such a funny thing.
Hack-
Like,
I still have my
back in the
hacky
day.
sack from the bloodletting tour. I still
Yeah.
have it, dude.
Really?
that was like I think that was a Bill Robinson decrepit thing, right?
I'm sorry, but I just said that my hacky sack, the one that we used, was
Just because you
mine.
had one, I know you spent $2 on a fucking hacky
I
sack, but
fucking supplied you guys with a hack for a month,
hack my sack.
and I didn't get lost.
I'm
didn't
learning
break.
how to do this now. This is
Yeah,
great.
you just click them and then you have to unclick it. If you,
How do
Hey,
I unclick it? Oh, I got it.
you guys, real quick.
Wait, I could be
Yeah.
doing
Just-
that.
Oh no, hold
My
on.
lady Kathy wants to say hi real fast.
Kathy,
Hey,
duck
Kathy.
down a little bit. Duck down a little bit. We can't see
Yeah.
your head.
We could just
She
see
said
your
duck
shirt.
down a little bit.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
Rock on.
Flesh order.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, dude.
Fuck yeah.
So let me ask. So you guys put out Wrath Encompass. I'm looking at the date, April 24th, 2020. So that's like a month into pandemic. So
Yeah. It's a
were you
month
guys
into
planning
fucking
on? Were you guys planning on touring right away to support that and had to delay things, or were you guys just putting it out without any real plans? How did that whole release go down?
No, we definitely had plans to tour and support that thing as much as we could. And
Yeah.
we pretty much got fuck out of all that. So
Did you try to delay the release and wait?
no,
or-
by the time that everything shut down and everything, it was already in motion. There was no way for us to really stop that from happening.
Yeah, I see. But I listened to it again today. It's like a fucking killer album. You guys are still going strong. It's awesome. And you guys have Santiago, what's his last name? Francisco
Yamarillo
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yamarillo doing artwork, which is amazing artwork. Shout out to him and Mark over at Triple Sace. They're big fans of us, which we appreciate. Yeah,
I
but
thought
dude,
it
that
was the
album's
same
really
guy.
sick.
That was
Yeah,
the
no,
same
there's
guy.
two different guys. It's Santiago's the artist and Mark is the page
The
manager.
manager. He's the guy that
Oh,
talks to
okay.
everybody.
Yeah, he's really nice. So
I remember
Yeah, he's a
back
hell
in
of
the
a
day,
nice
we
guy,
get those-
isn't he?
If we get those like those old like comments back in the day, it'd be all like capitals, like "Hey, how you guys doing?" Well, it's all dash Mark. And
yeah,
I was
he's
like,
still
"This is
doing it.
Santiago,
Does,
though.
dude.
What's going on?"
No, then Mark, he keeps it real, man. He does. He keeps it
does.
real, and he's super active.
Oh, they put out footage of so they had a band together in like the 90s. Him and I think Santiago is on vocals and Mark on drums from like 1996. Out in is it Chile or Colombia? Fuck. Ecuador, Quito, Ecuador. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's cool seeing them like finally like playing. That was rad. Those guys are really cool.
Hell yeah,
But
dude.
anyway, man,
While
yeah,
we're chatting,
wrapping
real
up
quick,
this-
well, before we wrap it up, dude. Well, do we really want to wrap it up? We haven't even hit 2 hours. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Shouting out to the rest of the dudes that have been around since the beginning, dude. Like we were talking about that recently. Like there's some guys that always sharing the shit, always watching, always fucking loving it. Jack Wilson since the beginning, right?
Totally.
Since the very beginning.
I was
Actually,
supposed
to
to,
tell
like-
you the truth, right
Yeah.
now, Jack Wilson has the only piece of not only bootleg merchandise, but merchandise in general. He's rocking a Cali Dust podcast hoodie from the beginning. He printed his own because we're too fucking lazy to put shit out. But I think
Not
we're
for
going to be
long.
doing that pretty soon. We're going to be doing that pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, dude, he's a fucking guy that's been around. Who is it? Michael
Tom
Sungren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Tom, shout out to Tom. He wrote up a little press release for Dreamer when we did that Apex playthrough, and he's coming to the show on Saturday. So I'm gonna finally meet Tom in person, and
Nice,
hang out.
dude.
Yeah, but he's a big fan of the pod. He actually loves Odious Mortem. You guys are his favorite band. So
Well, there's been time. Actually, I think I actually called out sick. Like it's a job. When I thought like I was super sick and I couldn't do the I don't know, a couple episodes ago. I think both those guys hit me up. Were like, "Are you okay, man? What's going on? Are you feeling good? Like what's going?" And I was
That's
like, "Oh, that's
awesome.
adorable, dude!" Like, and I just talked to them both, just like because they're fucking rad. But they like literally were worried about me. I was like, just because like they were like Joel's sick, and that's like all they said at the beginning. And like they're like they just messaged me like, "Are you okay, dude? What's going on?" Like it was like I felt like
And that's
I was
what's
like,
up, dude.
"Oh." Yeah, no, it was
that's
awesome,
what this
dude.
is all about, dude. It's the community and we've been building it for this long, dude. And I'm so happy it's at where it's at and it continues to grow. Max, yeah, dude. Dreamer is amazing, dude. Straight up.
Thing.
It is the next thing you're gonna be hearing about as soon as that shit drops, dude. And it's Joseph on drums, Christopher Beatty. That duo does the intro. I know I said it in the beginning of this, but you guys all hopped on right now. So if you hear the intro to this podcast, you like it. It's Christopher Beatty, Joseph, those motherfuckers, dude. Which is the next generation of this shit too. We're like the OGs now, and Joseph and his crew, all the people that he's working with, like it's the next generation coming up, and I totally feel that and see it, and I love it, dude.
Well, dudes in that band are like 23 years old. I'm like 31. I'm the dad of the
so
band.
You're like the mid OG. You're like,
I'm in bands with
really
Diego, who's like 15 years older than me, and then I'm in bands with guys like 10 years younger than me.
So Jeremy, how does that feel? I mean, like 25 years is considered classic rock. So if you release something, what is it, in 97, that's now classic.
Origin was 98.
Yeah, it's like literally just it's crazy. Like hearing, like I brought it up multiple times, like hearing listening to a random classic rock station. They're like, "Oh, here's classic rock from Nirvana," and you're like, "What the fuck? Is that classic rock now?"
No, for sure, dude.
Well, yeah, either that or you'll classic rock and they play fucking something on Master of Puppets. It's like,
yep, definitely.
What the
it's a
fuck?
trip. I know. Like before, it was Led Zeppelin. When I was my dad was listening to like classic rock station all the time. It was Led Zeppelin. It was like these were Greg Kinn band or something random. It
Blue
was
Oyster
constant.
Cult.
Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult. That
Deep
was classic
Purple,
rock to me. Yeah. What was it? Deep what?
I thought we were just gonna keep going. No, you're supposed to keep going, dude.
I think it's bullshit. I think that classic rock should like always be like 70s, like, or like You know, classic rock.
Yeah,
dude.
but
I don't buy that whole 25
Dude.
years old thing.
That's old guys.
I totally agree with you, Casey.
Rock.
Totally.
Like, it's like a different genre. Like it's grunge,
Yeah, it is.
Like, man-
it is actual genre.
not classic rock. Like classic
I
rock.
was actually talking to coworkers about the exact same
Boston,
thing just the other day, where like classic rock is like an era, like it won't change.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like you were saying, like Blue Oyster Cult and Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin
dude.
and Boston and stuff like that. Like that's classic rock. Like it
Right.
won't cease to be classic rock. It's like it's
Right.
like an era. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
was
a-
gonna say
it's
after
not-
that you just
it's not a time frame.
I totally
distinguish
agree,
it by
dude.
decade, dude. After
Yeah,
that, like
makes
all
no
that, and then
sense.
just say 80s rock, 90s rock.
Yeah, that's the
2000s.
unfortunate name it got was classic rock, but it probably should have been called
Well,
something
okay,
else.
rock and roll never changed. Like rock and roll is like 50s, 60s kind of.
Yeah.
Like we don't call you could call Zeppelin rock and roll, or you could like say 80s rock and roll or 70s rock and roll. But it's like
yeah.
no 70s is like classic rock, and then like 80s.
I know,
is
but they
like
weren't
heavy
calling
metal
it
and
classic rock then. They were just calling
yeah,
it rock,
but I mean
dude.
that term came about in what like the 90s or something. We were growing up like kids, like okay, classic rock like 70s, 60s, but it was like or like Stones or shit. You know.
I mean, I think
They're
I
the
think a band
classic rock
Classic
today,
rock.
for sure,
a new band could come
dude.
out and be a classic rock band. Like I think that would be
Yeah,
okay.
it was this, yeah.
I'm cool with
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
what was that somewhat new band that came out? Greta Van Fleet
Yeah.
or something?
Oh,
They got so
right.
much shit for sounding like Led Zeppelin, and then they made it worse by saying that they don't listen to Led Zeppelin. Like,
That's like Coheed and Cambria and
Own it,
Rush.
bro. Yeah.
It's like there's totally Rush influences. They're like, dude, we didn't never listen to Rush. Dude. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
And Zeppelin was biting off everybody else, anyways, too. Oh, that was
Right.
well, and
that
especially
was a
like
big statement right there.
you're like, come on, who doesn't listen to Rush? Come on, man. Like,
I agree.
like,
Yeah.
Is that even real? Like, are there people that don't listen to Rush at least a little bit?
They're called people with vaginas, I think, mainly.
like everybody likes at least one Rush song, at least
That's
one.
true.
Come on.
That's
Have
true.
you guys seen that like dad band skit with Jerry Cantrell? And they're
Oh,
like,
I have seen that. It's like a
it's
garage
so
in the
funny.
garage. Or
Yeah,
something.
you seen that on YouTube?
Yeah,
So good,
yeah.
dude. Watch
so
that.
good.
Look
All
up
right.
the dad band with Jerry Cantrell, and they talk about Rush.
Oh, I gotta
and,
look
like,
something up.
it's
Oh my God.
funny.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, but don't put it on because we'll get you know.
He's saying,
Yeah, I don't want another cease and
pods.
desist.
It's gotten in enough trouble today. Yeah.
oh yeah, dude.
Hey, fellas, I'll be
anyways.
right back. Give me just a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
good.
No worries,
dude.
buddy. Yeah, dude, take your
Oh,
time,
yeah.
man. We got plenty of it, so that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in no rush
That's
here.
so funny though, dude.
No rush. I like
See,
that.
We're just I mean, we like Rush, but we're in no rush. Me, you put my name.
I know. I tried to change it and I
I'm
clicked
not
it
even-
on
I'm
accident.
not
I was
even
trying to
being-
change it to Justin, but I
Oh,
fucked
he's
it
got
up.
a
Justin.
fire going on behind him. That's cool. I want a fire.
Yeah.
going
Nice.
on.
So
Shut the
so
fireplace.
so Jeremy, you said you guys had band practice before coming on today, right?
Yeah,
How was practice today?
not too bad. We're working through new material actually.
Oh shit.
Who fucked up the most? Was it
Are there
Justin?
blast beats in it?
Nah, we decided no blast beats on this album.
Okay.
No
good, yeah.
blast beats on this album.
You guys have
With
played
Trent.
out the blast beats thing.
Yeah, Trent's over the blast beat thing.
Finally.
The guy that does like 14 hours of blast beats on fucking.
Right?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that'd be so funny. Imagine if Unmerciful or like Origin was just like, we're gonna do an album with no blast beats. We're just coming out just like completely. We're just doing only like prog beats and just like
Like
fucking
skank
AC/DC
shit, yeah.
beats. Yeah,
I would probably still listen to it and love it, dude.
Oh, I would definitely listen. To
Doing a doom metal album.
it. Yeah.
There you
A
go.
note a minute.
Yeah. Where does your inspiration come from these days when you're writing songs?
Pretty much the same as it always been. Immolations, big influence. Suffocation. Deeds of Flesh, when they started coming out, like Path of the Weakening and fucking Mark of the Legion. Huge fans of that.
No doubt.
Even like, I mean, I love Gorgasm, but old Gorgasm is the shit as far as I'm concerned.
Bleeding
Stab Within
profusely.
Course,
That one in the course. Yep.
profusely.
I agree, dude. I was just listening to those two albums like within the last week, dude, and it still holds up hard for me, dude. Those first
Yeah,
two.
and for me, that band Stabbing that we're going on tour with kind of reminds me of old Gorgasm, so I fucking dig
Yeah.
that band.
Are they
Hell yeah.
down picking the whole time?
Well, Stabbing?
Remember
That I
that, remember
don't
that
know.
was that was the Gorgasm, like
thing.
That was like their
down-picking
thing.
the
It was
whole
like
time.
down pick. Like which
Dude,
I have a
they
downpicked
everything, but their down picks were weird. They weren't using whole hand; they were using just thumb, and it's
interesting.
like we went to watch them in a practice.
Yeah,
so we got to see like way up close, and yeah, they fucking down picked everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude. And I remember they used to go Marshall cabs, Marshall heads, and what was it, Metal Zone pedals? Is that what they did?
I think so.
It's literally the only thing that Gorgasm used.
that was the old Cryptopsy. I remember Cryptopsy used to use the what was like the triple the solo rectifier with a Metal Zone in front, like as a booster or something like that. That was like because I've been like tone searching my whole life, and I remember like hearing the stories of even Cannibal Corpse supposedly. Actually, Jeremy, you could probably answer that question. So I heard like back in the day, it was like the rectifier with like a Metal Zone somewhere in the mix.
Yeah.
So do you know what was it, like a booster or something, or what was it?
It was a triple rectifier, and the I'm pretty sure the Metal Zone was in front.
Okay. Was it the clean channel?
Huh?
Was it the clean channel?
No, it was on top of the fucking red channel.
Jesus. That actually kind of makes sense. You know, like it adds like it's like nowadays there's the clean boost that kind of gives you like a boost of the signal, but like that's like pre-clean boost. Sorry for all the gear people that don't play guitar at all. But no, it seemed like it actually kind of like pushed their tone to like a different, because Metal Zones kind of get ripped on nowadays, like all the, you know, because there's better technology now and stuff like that. But back in the day when Metal Zones came out, that was actually like a big deal, like that as far as like a practice amp and like have a little shitty Gorilla amp and you put a Metal Zone in front of it. You know, it sounds
every band I
good.
played with until I got to Gilbert had a Metal Zone pedal, and then I got to Gilbert and he had this crazy fucking elaborate fucking like gigantic pedal with 10 different fucking buttons on it and the whammy shit on the side. Am I even saying that right? No, it's not a wah-wah like fucking pedal thing.
Yeah, it's the wah-wah.
What was that thing called? What is that pedal called? Or that it's not a like pedal. Axis, no,
like a GT3 or something. There's also the Fractal Axifex,
yeah.
But that's like a rack mount.
Thanks, Murray.
No, so actually, to everyone knows Axifex now and Fractal and stuff like that. But actually, the first person I ever met that was using them was Mike Gilbert from Severed. That was he basically. I remember I was in this random like guitar forum with him, and I didn't know it was him. It was just M Gilbert something, and he was posting these clips. It was on Harmony Central back in the day, and he was posting these clips of him playing with this thing. And I'm like, damn, that sounds so sick. And he's like. Random riffs that ended up being on Survival Insurrection. Jesus Christ. Joel's drunk.
I called it an Axis, dude. So it's chill. It's called
Axis. That's drum. That's a drummer stuff.
Oh, okay. I was mixing that up. Okay.
Yeah. No, but he was like ahead of the game, and he recorded all of Survival with this new Fractal, which it was basically brand new. Like it was like no one had ever heard that before. And then I went on tour with Animals as Leaders, and they were like, "Oh, this new Axifex thing." I'm like, "Oh yeah, my buddy Mike has one." You know, I was like trying to one up them. I'm like, "No, dude, you're second." I'm just kidding. But no, it was insane tones, and I mean, there's me and Matt from Sotelo from Decrepit Birth getting these little fun arguments where we're he's all about I am too, all about the tube amp and how the tube amp sounds, and he's trying to prove that it's way different from the tube amp to the Axifex, which it is when you're in person, you're feeling it and you're feeling the air being pushed, but they're getting pretty dialed in with it now, where it's like it actually like there's like videos online of these like sound nerds, these tone nerds, and they blindfold them and they're like, okay, is this fucking digital or is this the tube version? And they're wrong like most of the time. They can't tell. Like when it's blindfold, they can't tell. So it's like, all right, well that tells enough to me. Where it's like it's getting there, it's like, and I can have
the neural DSPs. You can get some pretty good sounding shit out of that.
Yeah,
out of the new ones that they're coming out with.
Definitely, I know. One of the Twitch streams I was watching last night was Justin from Zenith Passage, and he was getting really cool tones out of it. And I was like, "What the fuck are you using?" And it was a neural. It was like the new neural fucking matching a certain head and cab with a mic placement that's here and like all the things you can like really get like you can go too far. You can go down a rabbit hole with that stuff. Like you can like randomly one day wake up and like, I want more of a diesel sound, like, and just completely change your, I don't know. It's almost like it's good, but almost too much.
I'm so stoked. All I have to do is just have a microphone, and I don't even have to do anything with it. Like, there's no changing things. I could just plug it in, dude.
You gotta do this, dude.
Which, by the way, I found I'm cleaning out this fucking downstairs room that I've been putting off for fucking a decade. Basically, I got to all my shit, and one of the things was my wireless, and I was like, oh shit, dude, did I leave a fucking 9-volt in the bottom of it? Is it going to be all corroded and fucked up? And I fucking took the bottom off, dude. No battery, and it's fucking clean. I'm like, yes, dude. This thing's in still good condition. Like, now I need to actually plug it in. I could actually use it for the podcast, dude. I could walk around the house, fucking take a leak with you guys.
We got a.
But you know what's gross is the top is all rusted and shit from all my saliva for the like fucking. Oh, dude, sick. No, it's
we
like
got a fan question. Can I ask it? It is from Nico Kala, who I think is
put it on the.
Oh shit, we can just do that.
Click
can't
it.
we?
Click it.
I'm trying.
What do we have?
No shit, I got it.
There it is. It's he's from Iniquitous Deeds. What up, dude?
Oh, what up, Nico?
Oh, Nico.
What
He
is
makes
your
fucking crazy art. And actually, I saw your post today, dude. You fucking you could get some of his shit on the next Cannibal tour. There's gonna be 10 pieces, limited pieces that he just did for fucking Cannibal. It's a human skin masks that he made, and they're fucking.
Shit, where's your piece at, Justin? Show your piece off.
It's back in my room. I'll grab it.
Grab it, dude. Nico's with us right now, dude.
Oh, please don't take out your wiener, though.
Hell yeah. What's your absolute worst experience on stage? Fun question.
Fuck.
We haven't touched on it yet, Nico, so good question.
I'm glad this came up.
Man, I really don't know.
Here we go.
I remember one time I dropped a pic. There's that face.
Oh, shit. See? There's an example.
There it is.
Damn.
Kathy got this for me for Christmas.
Wow, dude.
See? Nico even called me his brother.
So sick, dude. I mean... Wow, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing sick shit for a while. I remember seeing light switch covers. He did, I think there was an iPhone case at one point. It's all like super like gory but Geiger-esque at times, and also like Hellraiser style, torture-esque shit. Sick stuff, dude. And iniquitous.
No, he's incredible, man.
Sorry, I'm drunk now.
I know, Anthony, can you say iniquitous deeds like 10 times? Right?
I just said it while you were talking, and you just fucking stepped over it, but I said it perfectly. Iniquitous deeds, dude.
Oh, there it is.
Did you see and there was cadence in it and everything? I hit every single syllable.
Wait, I want to hear the fucking story. What about dropping the pic on stage?
Anyway, I was in the middle of a song. I dropped a pic on stage, and I fucking see this person like make complete eye contact with me as they move their fucking hand up the stage like a little kid, grab the pic, still has eye contact with me, and puts the pic in their pocket. Like, you motherfucker.
Look, I scored.
I don't know about worst experience. I know, where the fuck was it? I think we were in Poland. I was with Cannibal, and I see this dude crowd surfing, and he's going up to the barricade, and he just goes right over the barricade. They just push him on over, and all of a sudden we hear him yell like louder than we're playing. And it's loud enough to where Alex just looks up at me during the song like, what the fuck was that? So I look down, and this fucking guy completely dislocated his arm at his elbow, like bad. So he's yelling like a motherfucker, and they escort him out over to the side. I see him over there in agony, waiting on the ambulance or what the fuck ever. And I mean, that was pretty crazy. Just seeing how bad that elbow.
I know the crowd gets crazy and shit, but you never want anybody to get hurt, dude.
No, yeah. I remember with Origin, we played the Pound in San Fran, and I think I remember Paul getting kicked in the face from the crowd. on stage.
That's actually a frequent thing. We have a few people that have been beat up from the crowd.
Like it wasn't a full on kick, but it like tapped his nose or some shit with their foot. So we've had some pretty crazy shows. I don't know. I haven't really had a really bad experience on stage, I don't think.
Actually, kind of reminds me of there was a time when we played the Slims with Black Dahlia Murder, and it was sold out. So me and we're all stoked on it. It's like a venue we've seen. Like I was telling you earlier, like watching the opening bands for Cannibal Corpse, being like, "Fuck, one day we could do this." And I remember Matt's like, "I'm gonna fucking play this like guitar I don't really like it, and I'm gonna break it and throw it in the crowd at the end." So like the fucking set ends and Matt's just like smacking this guitar and it's like all aggressively loud. We're like, Jesus, like it's like way too much. I'm like, okay, like that's cool. And he throws it and just like cuts a guy's head open. Like and like I was like, oh, kind of backfired. But he was all stoked. He's all, fuck yeah, sick. Like right here. I was like, Jesus, man.
And then a few years later, I was walking in San Francisco with my parents in the Sunset, and I worked at a music school down on Taraval and like 19th, so down there in the Sunset. And I see this dude walking on the other side of the street, and this is like, I don't know, that must have been the mid 2013, 2014, 2012, somewhere around there. I don't know. And he's wearing a Decrepit Birth shirt, and I'm with my parents, and it's been a few years since I've been in the band, and I was taking a kind of a break and just teaching music, and I see this guy with a Decrepit Birth shirt on, and I'm like, hey man, like, what's up? I like your shirt, And I was like, oh, and he was like, hey dude, I was the fucking he's the guy that got hit in the head with the guitar.
Oh, shit.
And so I'm with both of my parents.
That's
What the
wild,
chances of that? And I was like, dude, no way. And he's like, yeah, man, it was fucked up. Like I, got taken out, but he was like, but it's all good.
Yeah, luckily, Jesus.
He's still wearing the shirt, but it was just like, Jesus, dude. I'm like, you're the guy that got fucking his head split open. Whatever.
That's the scary thing about being like a promoter or a booking agent or something like that, is like having those things kind of happen. Or like, look at the singer of Lamb of God, like some person like stage dove and died. It's like all of a sudden he's like in jail in the Czech Republic. It's like it kind of puts a different perspective, because talking to Joel, not me, but the other Joel Haston,
talking to yourself in the mirror,
talking to myself just in the mirror, and just, but like like talking to like what the other side of things are, like the guy that puts on the show that everyone's always mad at, the guy that like owes the band money or something like that, and like seeing like his perspective at like putting on a show like that, and the fucking kind of liability that he has on his ass if someone like fucks up or something, or someone gets hurt, like they're gonna sue the venue and him. It's gonna be like he's gonna be part of that. It's like, so it kind of pushes a lot of people away from being promoters, because they don't want to have to deal with that. It's like we're always looking for pay or something like that, or we're mad about something didn't go the way we wanted. And
anyways, just gotta have styrofoam guitars, or like like particle board guitars, or like whatever. Throw them out there, like, oh wait, that thing didn't really hurt.
Or you don't break a fucking mahogany guitar and fucking
It's like you go get a Kmart special and you fucking just smash that shit, dude.
Like a lot of bands that tour.
It'd be so funny though if somebody's like done with their set and they put their own guitar down and grab another one you haven't seen the whole set and just start beating that motherfucker up. Like, this guitar ain't getting fucked up.
That's kind of what Matt did. Matt, like last song, he switched the guitar out for the one he was like down to break.
Of course, yeah. He's not gonna break his like soloist. Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna break a $2,000 guitar because it's sick.
Yeah.
No, totally.
Shit.
Even Kurt Cobain wouldn't do such a thing.
Well, Kurt, he had a couple more dollars.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, just a couple.
Yeah.
Well,
man. So fucking, what's up with the Unmerciful stuff? Are you guys like? So you released one in 2020, right?
Yeah,
that's the new, because sometimes the dates get wrong, and I'm always like, I think it's 2020. But yeah, I was listening to re-listening to all the shit again, and just, dude, it sounds fucking brutal, dude. It's sick as fuck. Are you guys still writing stuff now, or like what's
Yeah, we're writing new material now.
Sick. How much you got? What's the scoop?
Between all the ideas, maybe about 10 minutes so far.
Sick.
We're just
nice.
Working on everything right now. Actually, tonight we worked on a new song that I have ideas for, so getting that ironed out.
Nice. So you guys are still all living in the same area and getting to write together. That's pretty special these days. Not a lot of bands live in the same area.
Seriously.
Yeah. We all live within about an hour and a half of each other.
Nice.
It's not bad. Yeah, that's basically me to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
But yeah, Casey's down in San Diego. Joel's in Santa Cruz now, but Alex is in San Jose, right? And then Carrie's in Santa Cruz too. So it's like, yeah, we're all Casey down in Santa Cruz. I mean, San Diego is the monkey wrenched, obviously.
I'm the monkey wrench.
Yeah, it's a ways away, sure.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I know, dude.
I'm just fucking with you.
But it doesn't matter because
Well, sick, dude. It's super cheap up there, so I'll totally move.
I was gonna
there.
say, dude, with what we've been hearing lately, dude, it doesn't matter about the distance. Odious is fucking making some real shit right now.
Well,
It's true.
So,
But how about you, Justin? You contributing to this one too? Anything? Any of your ideas in any of these songs?
Well,
yet?
yeah, it's still in definitely very infant stages. Like the ideas we're working on right now, that's Jeremy's. But we got some ideas and we'll get it done. We will.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, it's things have been kind of weird for the last couple of years, so none of us have been able to tour as much as we want to or do much of anything. Like, hell, you guys know your last album came out in January. Ours came out in April of 2020. And
oh, really? Okay.
everybody's just kind of trying to, lick their wounds and do what they can and stay busy in the meantime. So, we just decided to go ahead and buckle down and start writing new stuff. Jeremy had the first ideas, and with what we had the last couple of practices, you certainly won't be disappointed. It's fucking dark, man. It is.
Dope.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, we just got a question here. Did you want to
I'm
ask
trying
this
to
one?
put it up. How do I do this? Wait.
Professor.
Joel, put that last one up. I can't do it. I'm clicking on it.
What are you trying to do?
The newest comment.
I got you, bro.
Oh, there it is.
I got you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that show.
I'll read it out loud. So there was a festival that Origin was playing. The ceiling was so low that fans started to punch the ceiling tiles, creating so much dust that the venue pulled the plug when Origin was still playing. Hopefully Jeremy can share that show experience.
Yeah, so we played this fest. I think we actually headlined it. But yeah, it was looked like a drop ceiling or some shit like that. So yeah, they started knocking the fucking ceiling down, and they fucking stopped the show. And for a couple of minutes, I thought there was going to be a fucking riot.
Yeah.
Like, we were all looking at our gear like, oh fuck, we're fucked.
Oh no, yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember. I think we actually got to finish our song or something, but yeah, it was pretty tense there for a while. It was a pretty rowdy show. I remember that up until the ceiling started coming down, and then the fucking people there
Sounds
decided
claustrophobic as fuck, dude. Because you're like, all your shit that you care about's behind you, with this madness going on. The buildings coming down. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Right, and they stopped us like mid-set, and like, you see the crowd getting fucking ready to be completely mad because, I mean, we got cut short. And like I said, I was fucking worried about our gear.
We're using the wireless.
That would be, dude. That's like, it's funny because it's like we're starving musicians, so the gear's the first thing we think about before our lives.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
we're like, dude, we don't want to have to buy that shit again.
No, it's like one piece of gear that you have. It's like more than you're gonna make on tour. So it's like, fuck. God damn.
Well, sick, guys. I mean, that sounds like we fucking are pretty much at the end of this episode. What do we think?
Yeah.
Down to kick it, but I think these guys have put in a good 2 hours, 18 minutes with us.
Yeah,
really
dude, I know that's
appreciate it.
nice. That's one good thing about this is now I got a fucking clock. That I can be able to take a look at. I just go off a feel. Sometimes you know, it's like you don't have no idea how many minutes or hours have gone by, you know. But this was fun, dude. Like with everybody interacting and shit. I like this a lot, dude.
Totally.
It's super cool to be able to interact with the people who are down with us every single week. And
thanks for going on the journey with us too. Like both Jeremy and Justin. Like this is a brand new thing, and it was literally like right before the episode started. Like I hadn't even tested this shit. I was like kind of like worried, like what's gonna happen, and it actually kind of worked out decently. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for fucking taking the little journey with us and also taking us on your journey. Like it's been fucking awesome. And keep on
thanks
rocking.
for having us on, man. We appreciate it.
Oh
yeah, I love how this all worked out too. I know this came together super quick, but Jeremy and I linked up, and literally things happened to where things had to be rescheduled. And dude, thank you so much for fucking being down from the beginning and being ready for us to take this experiment with this. And I think it's a successful fucking experiment we got here, guys.
Totally. And shout out to Scott Carstairs and Max and everyone that shared streams with us.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Yeah. And
Murray fucking is turning out to be the new king of the Twitch cast.
Nice.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the fucking Oprah of death metal.
Oh yeah, Murray.
You got a jersey. You got a jersey.
Dude, he made popping your collar and death metal like a thing.
Oh, Jeremy, if you didn't have the audio issues, we when you were dealing with the audio stuff, we were well, let's get our jerseys on. Then you came back at the last second. So Jeremy's got one too, and we would have told him to wear it too, but he kind of got fucked.
It was like an idea how it happened right before.
Yeah. Oh. Fuck yeah. Thanks a lot again coming on. Fucking a lot of memories with Justin and stuff. It's really cool to see you and see you're doing good, man. You got your nice family and stuff. I'm glad you're
both of you guys and Dan included and Matt and Bill as well.
Oh yeah, man.
For sure. He says what's up too.
Chicago a few years ago.
What's that, Jeremy?
Clint says he's what's up to you guys as well.
Oh, sick.
Right on, dude.
Hell yeah.
What up, Clint?
Yeah. Tell him I'm gonna raid his fucking Kansas City Chiefs fucking VIP booth or whatever he's got with his family, right? Doesn't he have a season ticket?
Nah, he don't do that anymore. He used to.
Yeah.
He jumped the bandwagon.
I was actually going to bring up the Kansas City Chiefs to Joel and tell him that I'm really sorry that they lost.
Yeah. No, that's all good. And actually, Jeremy sent me a video that kind of hurt my feelings because it looked pretty sketch about how maybe things are.
Kathy says hello and thank you guys as well.
Great to meet you guys. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, you
too. Kathy, nice meeting you.
All right, let's start doing the rap.
Oh yeah. Someone's asking. I can't highlight these, but do we know anyone to send our community to? We can raid someone else. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Let's go raid somebody. How do we do that?
I don't know. I'm gonna try right now, but now this is.
I think should we raid her?
No,
I think it's what happened to us, where all the listeners we say let's go to another Twitch channel and we all show up together.
Oh, they're all offline. The people that I want to.
Suggest somebody.
And hey, before I forget this real fast, it is actually Clint's birthday today.
Oh, really?
Shit, dude.
Nice.
Shout out to Clint.
Happy birthday, Clint. Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
But I did see that Kevin Fassard was on here too. Shout out to Kevin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was here.
Kevin, our dude.
There's a lot of folks on here that showed up. Thank you guys for showing up. We were trying to I didn't put every comment on here because I didn't want in the middle of a story. I didn't want to fuck it up, but I appreciate everyone for commenting. We'll do it again. This is going to be a thing.
Yeah, this is the first time we did it all, dude. So we're just going to get better at it.
Definitely. And this is the test episode, and it's just going to get better. We're going to have these guys on again because we're going to convince them to fucking come deal with our fucking drunken debauchery. But fuck yeah.
We love you guys. I always just thought when it was just oh, dude, Jeremy Turner, you're talking to him, Anthony, and then or I was just oh, then fucking. You're gonna say that then Justin's coming on, then Unmerciful. I was just yes.
Dude.
I've wanted an Unmerciful episode for a while.
Dude. Yeah. This was a success, and totally
perfect time to try to go live with dudes that we respect and our homies, and we've been into your bands and shit, and played shows with you guys for years, and just a super fun time, man.
I'll see you guys on the tour if you guys come out to California.
It's in May, right?
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for more dates.
Yep. Pyrexia, Unmerciful, and Stabbing, right?
TBA.
Fuck yeah.
Dope. There we go.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
And
guys.
Everybody hit up where was the Unmerciful merch store again?
Unmercifulmusic.com.
Unmercifulmusic.com.
Buy some
fucking shit and swag is all over there. Battleforgecoffee.com. Go get fueled up on some caffeine over there. Joseph, what was your show again?
Dreamer live in Los Angeles on Saturday. Where that little logo in the bottom right.
Bottom
they're
right.
worth it, dude. They're insane. Every
So worth it,
person I've
dude.
shown them to, everyone gets blown away by them. So
Yep.
check
One
it
more
out.
time. The intro song is
You're about to hear it.
conceived and performed by Christopher Beatty and Joseph. And yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
That's
You
it.
guys want to go raid Kevin Muller, the vocalist of Illusion?
Oh, is
Let's
he
do
on
it,
right now?
dude.
Oh, fuck
Is he
yeah.
online? You have to be online. I know we're fucking grandpas.
That's
on
what
this,
they
but-
said. He's
Everyone's
he's
saying
online.
Rail Kev or Rail.
Dude.
Kev Mueller,
Previous
Rail.
Rail,
guest
I don't know,
guest
Rail.
on the podcast. A great fucking
Raid.
episode.
Raid 'em.
Alluvial. Super
Raid.
sick fucking
All right.
record.
Kevin,
Kevin.
Let's
Kevin.
do it, dude. But how do we do
Hold
like
on.
the outro and shit into that? And all
no,
that
but I
stuff?
have to try to figure out how to rate them first.
How do we raid?
Oh god, I can hear my own voice because I fucking clicked Twitch and now it's like delayed. I can hear my own.
We
I
are
know
talk.
spelling, but I have no idea.
Yeah,
All right,
so
we're all
you guys,
fucking-
yeah, don't worry
We're
about it.
just
You guys can
so
log off.
Oh, in the chat.
Yeah. You guys go ahead and log off after this. I'm gonna go ahead and do the little goodbye.
Outro.
So no postpone? Is that how
We can, but we're gonna do the Jesus Christ. I'm here.
Do I stay on it or do I fucking click a button? What do I gotta do?
All right, love you, Anthony, Grandpa. I love you. We will have a good night. We're fucking done. We'll see you next weekend.
All right, yeah,
Or week,
for sure.
weekend,
Next week.
Weekend.
Have
All
a
right.
great weekend. Rock on,
Peace
guys.
out. All right, see you guys.
Later.